fourth meal.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
This is going to be a special episode because we're drinking.
Yes.
We haven't had a drink during the episode in a very, very, very long time.
Well, I quit drinking
You did?
during the week.
There you go.
I don't drink during the day, so this is also special because it's, what time is it? 3 p.m.? Anyway, welcome back to Fourth Meal, Headliner Music Club. I mean, we're not consistent with these podcasts at all. And today's guest has actually been on an episode when we had 3 listeners, and now we have 8.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm glad to have you back.
Moving on up.
When we have 5 extra listeners, but yo, Nick Ferrer is joining us today. Very glad to have you, sir. My man Play from Play-N-Skillz. Where the fuck is Skills at, bro?
Good question. Right now, he's actually
because the last time you were here was without Skills. You're back without Skills.
Yeah. I like to keep him in the studio like locked up.
Yeah, and actually, he doesn't even like to talk, so it doesn't even matter.
Nah.
He will be quiet and just silent. He's like silent but deadly.
Yeah.
Just give my man the keyboard.
Those are dangerous people.
The dangerous ones.
That's the ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
But yo, excited to get into some stories because, man, we just had a insane conversation like off the mic, and like you inspired me in just our like 10-minute conversation.
Thank you, man.
To just retire already.
Yeah.
I got a long way to go, but I'm excited to get to the point of retirement. Not that you retired, but you know.
It feels like it. Yeah.
We'll get to that, but I want to talk about like the come up. PlayNSkillz. When I first met PlayNSkillz, believe it or not, I met them as rappers.
Yep.
This was before the production took off. They came up to Power 106 as artists. They were signed to Universal, right?
Yeah. Universal Records.
They were on Universal, and they were promoting a song called Freaks.
Yeah.
And what was the sample again?
Art of Noise.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And did you have
Moments of Love
Skills?
is the name of the song. Art of Noise is the group.
I know Skills had cornrows. Did you have cornrows at that time?
Yeah. We both had braids. It was
You both had the braids.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, look at these dudes.
Thing, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And they came up and we played the record. Syph and I were on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say shortly after, I mean, tell us the story about the transition from artists to producers. Like, I'm trying to like remember, because we go back so long, and I've seen DJ, producer, songwriter, artist.
Yeah, so I mean, first things first, we're DJs before anything, right? So this is our connection. So me and my brother, long story short, started off as DJs in Dallas, Texas, doing house parties, putting our own little raves together. Blowouts is what we used to call them. And then we got a gig at a big nightclub while we were still in high school. And so we was already in the nightlife, already DJing. But
What year is this?
This is 97, 98.
Okay.
So, but we started DJing like hard house was like the style that we like
Bro,
super like
I came from that
underground
era.
construction.
Oh yeah.
140 BPM, bam, bam, bam.
Mark V, Poogie Bear.
Mark V, Poogie. Oh man, I still have those records, by the way. Vinyl,
Me too.
DJs, needles, like the real, essence of it, man. And naturally, I think all producers at some point get interested, or all DJs get interested in production, because you're like, why did this record start like this? Why does it end? Why does it get this reaction? And me and my brother started digging in the crates, right? And early on, I figured out that my brother was a better half of me, and he had this insanely God gift of being able to play keys without any musical classes or background or whatever the case may be.
I remember your brother and I know we said how he doesn't like to talk, but like if you're one-on-one and he likes you,
sure.
He doesn't stop talking.
Yeah.
But we had an insane conversation, and he would tell me that he doesn't even know like shit about music theory.
No.
He goes, I don't even, when I produce a song, I don't even know what key it's in.
Yeah.
He goes, I just play and it's all by ear. Like,
Yeah.
He's just like a raw, like that's what you call raw talent, right?
I think, but that's from the DJ stuff, right? Like you train your ear to land on the
What
snare.
sounds right.
What sounds right, what blends together, and you naturally have this just special, I don't know, gift in that.
It is a gift.
But then, you know, he's able to play the keys and he's great with melodies and writing and everything else. And, you know, one thing led to another. We became very popular DJs in the state of Texas, and we caught our first big break producing for Lil Flip. That was like 2003. We ended up producing the entire album. That changed my life because we went from being these DJs trying to make a living to, you know, having a big publishing deal and a #1 rap platinum album with a legendary.
That's the first thing you guys did?
Yeah, that's the first thing we did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is.
And how did that happen?
We ran into Flip, man, at a nightclub in Dallas and just gave him a beat CD. And true story, and when he left the club, we fought. Back then there was like the wrapped vans and the wrapped trucks.
Yeah, promo,
with the artists, the promo.
yeah.
So he had his little Flip truck out there. And I was like, man, fuck that. What hotel is he staying at? I was like, I want to make sure that he sees me when he wakes up. You know what I'm saying? Like coming out in the hotel lobby and being like, I offered him to come to my studio. I'll give him free studio time. And I actually lied to him and said that I wanted to buy a verse. That's how I got him into the studio, I said. And I didn't have the money for a Lil Flip verse. I think it was like 10 grand or something at the time.
Was this pre-Game Over?
This is that album.
Okay.
Game Over.
Did you produce Game Over?
No, I didn't do Game. So we did every track but Game Over.
Okay.
Fuck.
But at the time, it was an album. Like albums were selling. So
right.
Even if you're on the album, I
mean, we had the street anthems. We had the stuff that kind of mattered to us. We didn't understand how big Game Over was gonna be. Right. We were just making a body of work. But anyhow, we got Flip to come to the studio, man, and you know, he wanted to be paid for his feature, and I didn't really have all the money to have for the feature. So I was like, look, I got X amount, but I'll give you all the beats you want and free studio time. And I didn't know at the time that he needed a studio to work out of. This is prior to the You Gotta Feel Me album. So he started coming to Dallas frequently and recording his album, and I didn't charge a lick. I didn't care if we worked 24 hours. I was trying to make it, bro. And that was the closest thing.
And this is a special time because we got to remember, like, free studio time doesn't sound like much now because you could record
your
fucking phone. Exactly. iPad. But, like, at the time, like, a lot of the recording budget went to studios.
Right. So if you didn't have the budget or the label didn't approve for you to go, where are you going to come up with $2,500 for the day for a studio, engineer, equipment, and then good production? Because that's what he was really into. He was like, oh, you guys know how to really produce. And we ended up doing the album, did well, you know, went platinum, it was the #1 album. That kind of like started our names, you know, our name in the industry, in the real industry. And we fell back from DJing, and we were like just really studio producer rats. And how we even became rappers, I guess, or artists, is I had the sample Moments in Love. Dun, 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 dun. There's a loop like 7 minutes into the song that is like wide open to do it. So I grabbed it, put an 808 on it, snare. It was like probably 5 sounds. And I shit you not, it was a 2-track. Like I didn't even, you know, dump it out to get mixed. And we didn't have any rappers to rap on it at all. So Skillz ends up going in the booth, writing a verse. Your rap said, damn, you sound okay on it. I'm the bad rapper of the group. So I was like, help me write the verse. Recorded a fucking shitty ass verse, put myself last. And that was the beginning of us making a record. We ran into a guy by the name of Charles Chavez, who at the time had Baby Bash and Frankie J's Sugar Sugar out. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, how the fuck are these fucking Mexicans on black radio? I said, I'm making, you know, black music at the time too. And I was like, I got this record. This, you know, Charles comes up to Dallas after seeing us in the Source for the Lil Flip stuff. And he's asking the same thing, thinking we were Mexican at the time. We're Latinos, but Argentina and Venezuelan, right? So he drives from Houston to Dallas to come meet me. I'm looking for him. He's looking for me. And we playing Freaks. And he's like, give me 3 weeks. If I don't get you a record deal in 3 weeks, he's like, you ain't got to fuck with me. Sure enough, man, you know, he put the song on the radio. It just blew up. Never wanted to be an artist. Never wanted to be a rapper. Just happened. So next thing you know, they're like, you guys want to make an album? We got X amount of money for you to do. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Want me to rap?
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Adina Howard on the record?
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah, let me go back. So so Freaks, like, when we wrote the song, The World Has Too Many Freaks, you know, Adina Howard had A Freak Like Me. And then she had a T-shirt and my
massive
panties
record.
on. It was like late 90s, you know, but I was a big fan. And we're like, we need a female vocal to kind of make it, you know, ear candy. And we literally hired Adina Howard to come. I don't even know how that even happened, but she ended up in the limo, pulling into the studio, sang the chorus. And Skillz' favorite rapper is Crazy Bone.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went after Crazy
By
Bone.
the way, wild story. I want to hear that. I got to hear that story too. I know Skillz told me the story before, but
yeah, I mean, he was just a big Bone fan. Like he had the T-shirt, had the fucking printed out the lyrics, like waited in line to buy a Bone album before he even thought he was ever going to do music.
Do you remember the story I'm talking about though?
Oh, of him becoming the weed dealer?
The drug dealer.
Yeah,
this is the guy that doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So my brother is not like, I mean, you know, he's cool, but he's not your neighborhood drug dealer
at all.
I mean, he's cool with everybody that is. Everybody loves him, but he ends up at a concert backstage, and sure enough,
are we jumping ahead?
No. This is.
Oh, this is all part of it.
This is leading up to Freaks.
Okay, perfect.
Right, because we're telling the story, and it was like Crazy Bone, and then we're back. My brother got backstage somehow, and they thought he was the weed man. I mean, shit, I don't know. They don't know anything from this guy, and he was like, you know where I can find some weed? So when my brother calls me, I'm like, I know where I can find some weed. And I was like, where you at? He was like, Bone, you know, it's going to this party. They want some weed. They'll listen to our beats. I said, okay, cool. So we drove my little hoopty, brought a little dime or quarter sack, I forgot what, some bullshit weed. I'm not a dope dealer either, but I could get it. And
it was just kind of like when your brother told me the story, it was one of those situations where like you have an opportunity, you don't know the answer, but you just say yes. Like you see that in movies, documentaries, like, hey, yes, I know him. I don't know how I'm gonna get it. And you're like, I'll connect you to him. That's my boy. And like, I've never met this person. And then you make it happen just because that's how invested you are in this opportunity, bro. It was like,
and it might not happen again. Right?
Exactly.
He actually got backstage. Imagine him though, like this guy, his favorite rappers growing up, like East 1999, like, and now you're backstage. Now you're giving him some weed and you're playing your beats, and the guy goes, damn, these beats are jamming. Whose are these? And he's like, that's me and my brother. It's like, okay, cool. Hit me up, Crazy Bone. Hit me up when you get to LA.
Wow.
Through a guy named Steve Lobel, which we all know, legendary, iconic manager.
We working.
Yeah.
We working.
Yeah, we working. So shout out to Steve. We got to LA, called Steve. He got us into the studio with Crazy Bone. He laid a verse on that. Now it's Play-N-Skillz, Crazy Bone, and Adina Howard on a record that wasn't even supposed to be
for you guys.
Hell no. And it fucking exploded.
Who did you guys have in mind when you were working on it?
Flip. Just because, I mean, it really
Did
now
he turn
going
it
back.
down?
We had already finished the album and he was on tour, and that was just a
didn't
beat me.
happen.
It just didn't happen. Thank God. You know, like
Yeah.
it happened for us. And it exploded so fast that we went from like DJ, producer, rapper. Now we're in full rap mode.
Signed to a major
label, having to go do radio interviews, which we're raw and like don't know what to do. And the song is like,
bro,
you know, those countdowns, top 8 at 8, like #1, everybody's calling in, wanting to know the song.
Oh man.
You know, so, and for me, it was a hustle. I was like, well, fuck, you're going to pay me to rap? Like, bro, I've done some stupid shit for some money.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll figure out how to rap. I mean, you know, and go up on stage. And, you know, that happened for a couple years. And you know, that was the beginning of our thing, man, which led into Ridin' Dirty. So step 2.
And introduction to step 2, Chamillionaire was your hype man.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you guys are like, you're going to listen to this entire episode because like, the stories are.
It's also a story of hip hop that's like never been told because, you know, like now podcasts exist and other things. If not, it'd have to come in the form of a book or an interview that could only be so long. But now you could really, you know, I mean, 2 Latin kids from a town, Irving, Texas, like producing some of the, you know, legendary hip hop tracks, but then also part of a culture that's on the come up, which was the Swisher House, you know, screw music, you know, coming up. I knew Chamillionaire and Paul Wall when they were in high school, when we were in high school. And they was just coming to Dallas trying to sell mixtapes. That was my relationship with them. So we were all kind of like going to the clubs, selling our mixtapes, trying to get in. Years fast forward, we blow up as rappers underground with Freaks. Chamillionaire is like, let me go on the road with y'all. He's a real good rapper. So he's looking at us like, why are there 5,000 screaming people and like, I'm not a part of this. I need to be a part of this. So we had a song called Calma, which is a Texas classic. The Chamillionaire is on with us. So we brought him out every night to be our hype man and the whole little nine.
I used to play that shit all the time.
Calma?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So it worked here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Chamillionaire said to me the same thing that I said was, how are you getting radio? And I was like, well, my manager, Charles Chavez, like he's helping us out. He knows how to do this. You should meet him. He's from Houston. You're from Houston. Of course, Charles knew about him. Chamillionaire had heard about them. They linked up and they did a deal at Universal. So that's how we ended up producing Ridin' Dirty for Cam, which we never thought was going to be a hit, by the way.
Right.
You know.
And that's a crazy story.
Last song on the album. He didn't want it to be a single, but crazy ass Chavez said, fuck that. Leaked it while he had another single going out. And it, I mean, I've just had
to want it to be a single.
He didn't like, and I can say this freely now, because for years, you know what I'm saying, there were things that I was like playing the political game, and you know, I didn't want the Illuminati to come after me or whatever the fuck. You know? But now I don't give a fuck, and I can really tell the truth because you know my story is real, and I want to inspire DJs and producers and artists to like understand that, you know, the road is, you know, it's crazy. A lot of ups and downs and unexpected things that happen, and you kind of just got to deal with it. It's just part of it. It doesn't matter who it is. And he just, the song repeats. It goes, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty. And at the time he had a beef with Mike Jones, which we all know Mike Jones was known for repeating lines. So he's like, I don't want to repeat that shit, man. That's what Mike Jones does. I'm like, well, that's a fucking hook.
Yeah.
So he leaves the studio in Houston, and I just copy the hook, which he had already laid. Now, mind you, the original chorus, Skillz sang. And that chorus's lyrics was talking about, I've been drinking, I'm smoking, I got warrants. It was that in that melody. Cam don't smoke, don't drink. He's a nerd. And he didn't have no goddamn warrants. So he's like, I can't sing this or rap this, right? So then he changed it to They See Me Rolling, They Hating, Patrolling and Trying to Catch Me, right? Which was like, they see me rolling, not drinking and smoking while I'm riding dirty, which is the definition of riding dirty is I got some dirty in the car. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? So I end up, you know, copying the hook, and that's the version that ended up being on the album. Mind you, Crazy Bone is on that record too.
Right.
Which we put Crazy Bone on. Crazy didn't even know who the fuck Chamillionaire was.
Yeah.
He says in every interview as well.
And Chamillionaire was a fan of Crazy,
Of course, we all were.
Right.
Who wasn't a fan of Bone Thugs and Harmony? And Crazy actually happened to be doing a show in Houston with us. And I said, man, come to the studio and check this out. Because Chamillionaire Underground hit like the mixtape. He was the guy. So I was like, bro, this dude's about to blow. We're working on his album. Put a verse on the song. He was like, I trust y'all. Cool. And that's how that happened, man. And nobody expected Ridin' Dirty to be what it was. Almost what? That was 05? So how many years is that? 18, 19 years ago? 19 years ago. Almost 20 years, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. So after Ridin' Dirty, that was like a real introduction to being superstar producers having a #1 hit. That was like the first real one. The Flip stuff was great. Underground hip hop, cool, but that song,
I mean, got you guys the Grammy.
Yeah.
First Grammy.
Yeah. So that was our first. We got 2 nominations for the Grammys that year, and then we won, you know, which was our first Grammy, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. You know, I was just happy to be there. I mean, I bought like 10 tickets for the homies from the hood to come with me, and we're there way early before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like just the dumb shit that, you know, it happened so fast for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know anything. In fact, I remember doing an interview on Fox, and they were like, we're nominated for Ridin' Dirty. They're like, how do you guys feel about the police tonight? And I was like, oh, we don't rock with the police, man. Because Ridin' Dirty, he was like, man, you know, F the popos, whatever, you know. And it was the band, the police performing that night. Sting, you know, and I was like, I didn't know who the fuck the police was.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
like, godly, I'm so uneducated of how no real media training.
I mean, that was a different time. Like, that's like people talk about social media and like smartphones now. It's like the gift and the curse. Like, distractions, but you have access to everything. Back then,
yeah, bro.
I talk about that even when it comes to health, bro. Like,
yep.
I didn't know what kale was till, call it 15 year, whatever.
Yeah.
But when we were kids,
no,
I didn't know what that was.
I mean, just what you knew.
What the fuck is arugula?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew what you knew around whoever you're around. So if you never get away from that, that's what it is. And, it just happened so fast for us, man. It was a blessing, and I believe it was supposed to come together like that because, there's too many things that like happen that aren't supposed to happen.
So when Ridin' Dirty takes off, are you still artists?
Yeah. So we're still artists, but that was a good moment to one, capitalize, because now all eyes are on us as producers. Right? So our whole thing was like, get big features on this. And my hustle back then was I'm going to swap. So that's how I met Akon, right? And me and Akon started working together. Akon came to Dallas. People were like, you got to go see PlayNSkillz. Akon comes in with this Louis briefcase with probably 20 #1 hits in his computer. And he goes, I got the song for y'all. And he plays the song. I was like, nah, I got the song for us. Because we wrote and produced. And I played him a song called Come Home With Me, which is a sample, which, was played out here in LA as well.
I think that I got it confused. That's the one I would play.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
With Con on it.
Yep.
And Con was like, okay, y'all, this is happening. So I was able to swap with so many different artists. I gave Akon a beat. Akon gave me a chorus. I gave another rapper a beat. They gave me a 16-bar verse to kind of like
swap.
Yeah.
That to me, that's like, I've been paying attention to a lot of like very successful business people, and it's kind of like the art of the deal is where it's like a win-win. Like It's not like you don't want someone to feel like you're using them.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, or you're being used.
Or I'm paying for somebody that doesn't want to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I was so against that early on because very early on in my career, I tried to buy verses from people. Fabulous came in town. I was like, let me just buy a verse from you. And, they would be assholes or not show up to the studio or just like, and I was like, damn, bro, like, why can't we just exchange art? Like, if I'm dope, you're dope, let's do it. So we had to build into that. And once we had a #1 Billboard hit, then people go,
then
okay,
it's easier to
all right,
do,
cool.
Yeah.
So the artist stuff was really just built off of our producer stuff. We always just wanted to be producers, DJs. That's our passion, everything else. But shit, bro, if you're calling, you want me to do a show in Roswell, New Mexico, the deposit's in, let's get on this flight, let's go get this money. Still a hustle mentality at the end of the day, right? But it faded away after Ridin', and we actually got dropped from Universal. And that was like, okay, we realized that's the artist's life. And I was like, bro, that shit is so short.
Especially at that time.
Yeah, I don't want like everything in my life to be depending on if I have a hit song or a moment, right? So let's get back into our producer bag and everything else. So that led up to the Carter 3, as we're telling the story, with Wayne, right? And Got Money.
This is a crazy story too.
Yeah, again, for all the producers out there and DJs, like, never was like intended for Got Money to be on the Carter 3. In fact, that was 09 when the album came out. I think like 08, 07, Wayne was on a roll, bro. Like, every damn feature he was killing, mixtapes, and then was leading up to Carter 3. So every producer was dreaming of making the Carter 3. Like, I don't care who it was, Swiss, Timbo, we all wanted a part of the Carter 3.
Everybody.
I had no access to even get to that. Wayne was the biggest rock star in the fucking world. So, we ended up, by the grace of God, doing a song for Pitbull, which was Got Money. T-Pain had did the chorus for Pitt. Pitt was on TVT Records, and he wasn't putting out music with him. So he says, Pablo, take the song with the T-Pain chorus and go shop it. Tells T-Pain the same thing. PlayNSkillz beat, T-Pain chorus, go shop.
Like, I'm not going to use it.
Can't use it, but this is a great song. I'm not going to hold this against y'all. Now, mind you, T-Pain is the #1 hook guy at the time. He's just as hot as Wayne. So having a T-Pain hook was like gold. So,
and this is, you guys wrote the hook, correct?
Yeah, same thing. We wrote the initial melody and version of the chorus, and Pain took it to the next level and changed some of the lyrics, which made it better. Honest Bang made it 1,000 times better. But the idea of the song, it was Count My Money at first, not Got Money. So, you know, Payne, being as amazing as he is, made it that next level. He played it for Wayne. Wayne rapped on it, and a month before the Carter 3, we get a phone call, and they're literally like playing the beat like over the phone. It was T-Pain's manager, Mike Bloomstein, and he says, "Is this you guys' beat?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, well, hold that beat. We can't tell you who the artist is, but, you know, just hold that beat." I was like, "No." I was like, "Tell me who the fuck the artist is, man." He said, "I can't tell you that, man, but just think about it." And he kind of hangs up.
Wow.
I was like, "All right, cool." A couple days later.
But real quick, after Pitt got on it, it sat in your iTunes for a while.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Nori, CNN, recorded on it. Oh, wow. This is like when...
This is like the crazy shit about music. It's like you just never know. I guess timing is everything. Yeah.
Right.
Timing.
They recorded... I don't know if it was a T-Pain version. Yeah, I think it was a T-Pain version. But CNN recorded on it. Plies recorded on it. Some Thug recorded on it. But nobody put it out, and nobody went through the proper channels of doing this. And little did we know that all this was happening. Because here's this beat CD with a T-Pain chorus, "Have to buy you a drink," blah, 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 all the hits Pain at. Bro, this will change your life. A T-Pain chorus or an Akon chorus at the time. You're on. Yeah. How many rappers, we didn't know who the hell the rapper was, but we knew.
It was like Nate Dogg had that,
Pain,
T-Pain, and Akon.
I mean, that was the power of them doing that. And those are some expensive hooks if you're trying to buy it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They'll shatter your entire budget. So, yeah, bro, we ended up, you know, going back and forth, and finally the guy's like, "Yo, it's going on Wayne's album." And I remember like...
Wait, so do you remember how long after?
2 days.
No, like when Pitt gave it back to you. When did you get
6 months, maybe, under 6 months.
So 6 months just in iTunes, don't know?
Nothing, have no idea. Now, I know that Nori recorded on it because I was, you know, talking to Nori on a regular basis. I think Nori had just moved to Miami, and he was like, "I'm going to put this out." Me and Capone are doing a CNN album.
Wow.
You know, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm a big Nori fan.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? NRE, all that. You know, CNN, of course. I'm a big fan of like that. So I was like, all right, cool. Nobody else is using it. So now we get the call that Wayne wants to use it. And I got to call Nori and tell him he can't use it. A friend of mine, and a hit. You know, on top of that, this could have did great for them. But I was like, I called Nori. I was like, bro, I can't pass this opportunity up, bro. And if you got love from me, he's like, bro, you got it. I get it. So he just gave us the blessing to do that. And, Carter 3 comes out, and there's our second #1, our second, we ended up winning another Grammy off of that. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, bro. So.
And you're in the video.
Yeah, yeah. So,
and your tag stayed on it.
Yeah.
Which was, thank God. Because that at the beginning it has like the snare roll and has our Play-N-Skillz that goes to the snare. So every time you hear this record, you hear my name first. But mind you, we were one of the first producers that put in the producer agreement that you must keep our producer tag at the beginning of our songs, because that was how we were marketing ourselves, right?
No one was really doing that at the time, huh?
David Banner was one of the first.
What was his?
David Banner, some girl, and then it started like before the song, and then it came on. But Banner was the one that said put it in your producer agreement. I was good friends with David Banner, and he gave me the game, like, yo. So we said, make sure, because they tried to take it out, the original. I said, no, you got to put that on the album. Got to, So yeah, that was like the beginning of that. And Gil Green shot the video, and Gil was friends with Charles, I believe, through Pitt. And Gil was like, I'm shooting the Wayne video. Are you boys coming out here? They didn't even tell us. I was like, where? He's like, here in LA. I think they shot the video. I was like, bro, if I pull up, will you put us in the video? He said, yeah, just come up here. So we weren't invited. We didn't have a fucking dressing room. We just, let's go take a chance. Because being in a video back then was like the shit.
Of course.
Now nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah,
but if you were a DJ or producer, like, yo, bro, you wanted your...
Oh, yeah. 106 in Park days.
Yeah,
like
that's
big deal.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that mattered. So we said, fuck it, let's invest, let's get the fuck out of here.
This is how memorable it is. I remember you guys doing like the drum, like air drums on
exactly.
it. I remember it. Like, dog, I haven't seen that video in 20 years, probably.
Yeah, so...
But that's how, like, I remember that. You guys were in a car, right?
And it's like this bank thing, and we waited probably like for.
Wait, so you guys show up?
And we waited for 8 hours.
8 hours.
They're just shooting. We're these two Latin guys kind of sitting in the corner. I'm dressed to be in the video, shit, just in case I get that call. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, Gil grabs Wayne and Payne, and it's their turn, and he stops, and he's like, "Yo, I got the producers here." And Wayne turns like, "Damn, I've been trying to meet y'all."
Wow.
Like, I lived in, Wayne lived in Houston in 2005 or 6 after Katrina. They all moved to Houston. So mind you, this is when Ridin' Dirty's popping, PlayNSkillz is popping, Houston, Texas. So Wayne was up on who we were and everything else.
Damn, that's
but we had
amazing.
never met each other. And he was like, "Yo, thanks for blessing me." That, started my relationship with T-Pain just by going to a video, man, and just,
Just showing up.
yeah, because there was plenty of videos we didn't get in that we went to. I mean, we were just trying to get seen, bro. You know what I'm saying? So getting the video, man, and that changed everything, man. Second Grammy and opened the doors for, the Carter 3, like, bro, I'm part of, one of the greatest
History.
albums.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And not just on there, like one of the songs to
The
this
song.
day. To this day, us as DJs, we could play Got Money.
Still play
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
And it might, you know what I'm saying, still gonna get a pretty damn good reaction.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what, 15 years ago, 16 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's important to me. It's Ridin', Got Money, or two hip hop songs that, have lived almost 20 years, bro.
Especially that there was like a huge like Make It Rain era and especially Vegas clubs and like
That was the go-to.
that one and the Fat Joe Make It Rain joint too.
for sure.
But
For
those were the two that like you threw money in the air to.
Yeah, that was it. So, that was like the first 3 or 4 years of our professional career, like happened so fast. Obviously on the second Grammy, the second go, we knew a little more. All right, let's hire a fucking publicist. Let's do this. Let's do that whole 9. So you just grow.
So what happens the moment you're in that video, Got Money's a smash, Ridin' Dirty's a smash, 2 Grammys. What happens to you guys? Like, where does the career go? Like, is it just nonstop calls? Is it nonstop artists trying to get beats, get beat tapes, or what, is it not what we think?
It is and it ain't. I'll say this: you gotta be in the place. See, I fucked up at that point, and this is like 2007, where I thought I knew everything, right? So I wanted to be a record label owner. I wanted to have artists. I mean, hell, Jermaine Dupri was my idol. You know what I'm saying? And like how he did So Def and was a producer, artist, DJ. So I'm following, like, I want to do all that, not knowing how hard that shit is to do. So when we were in demand, instead of me coming to LA or New York and setting up shop, I wanted everybody to come to Dallas because I wanted to put my city on the map. I wanted people to come to Texas and, record. And the artists, very few came. So my opportunities became limited. So I really didn't capitalize the way I should have, to be honest with you. New York City.
But that seemed like a doable thing at that time too, because like even you see what like LaFace became in Atlanta, right? And like you kind of wanted to do that for Dallas,
right? And mind you, the D-Town Boogie is this movement with Stanky Leg and My Dougie and all that starting to bubble. And I'm here in the city, and I was a part of the Houston movement with Flip and Chamillionaire and all that. So Texas, to me, is happening. That was important. That's just the hip hop in you. Wherever you're from, you want to kind of like represent that and help your culture and help your city, your hood, whatever it may be. Wrong mentality, by the way, to have for anybody out there. Like, bro, like, you're gonna fuck up trying to do this shit with your homies and putting on for your city and doing all that. Like,
I talk about that sometimes. Like to me, the best artist is like where I don't know where the fuck they're from.
Yep. Eventually, you find out,
and you're like, oh, that's cool. He's
Cool.
But
Yeah.
they're universal.
I mean, Travis Scott is kind of like that, right? Like, he doesn't have a Houston sound.
But he puts it on, but he's also
Right. I mean, he does represent for Houston, do a lot of cool things, but he didn't come out like screwed hook on the thing. H-Time, baby, it's going down.
Yeah.
He didn't freestyle on the mixtapes. Like, he was he went to New York City. He went to LA. He traveled. This is why this guy is a mega superstar.
Like if you didn't hear him say Houston, you'd think he's from like Chicago, from Kanye or like
exactly
New York
you know
or something.
So, which makes him even that much of a bigger star, right?
I agree.
So yeah, we fucked up, when it came to that, and just thinking that we could manage ourselves, fucking have our own record label, do all this shit, and that was also the transition of like Dat Piff and like the mixtape whole thing, and honestly, motherfucking rappers were just jacking my beats, and I was like, no, I'm not getting paid to do this. I come from the era of like I got paid to produce, like dope boy brown bag money. Here's X amount of money for you to produce a record, or a major label paying big money for me. So now you're taking my beat, put it on a mixtape, and I can't do anything. I don't get no publishing. I don't get no royalty on it. And I didn't.
And that potentially stops someone from wanting it because it's already out.
It did. I had a record with French Montana when French, right before Pop That we were going to release, that was hot. It was French Montana and Dero. Dero had just came off an ice cream paint job. Record was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And Wayne takes that same beat and does a freestyle. It's called Sassafar or something like that. It's a skate and something freestyle he did, but it was the beat that French was putting out as a single with Dero, and it was through a beat CD I gave Wayne after.
Oh man,
Shit.
So now I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, okay, cool. Wayne's rapping on your fucking beat, right?
but for no
No
money.
one knows, right?
I want my bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At this point.
Yeah, at that point. So that kind of like started making me stray away from wanting to be in the hip hop business, because I started to see that the producer value was like we were not being respected. Our beats were getting taken, put online through freestyles. We didn't even get a parentheses produced by. Like, I would have took that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And at that time, it was that freestyle, just mixtape shit was everywhere.
all the jacking the fucking beat, and that's it. And you can't do
Like the
nothing
whole
about
culture of it.
It was
it. Yeah.
a whole, yeah.
Which was cool. I
what
understand
was what was the name of that one? Kia. What's the
Kia Shine.
Kia Shine.
So crispy.
So crispy.
So that was one of the ones that where he actually came to Dallas.
Was that after Got Money?
That was in between Ridin' Dirty and Got Money.
Okay.
Right before Got Money.
That was a crazy story too. Skillz. Oh my God, bro! I wish Skillz was here to tell us, because you fucking missing out on the the shit I love is the
Production side.
bro. Can you tell us the story of Got Money getting lost,
Yeah.
or do you want me to say what I remember and you could correct me?
I mean, there was an assistant engineer there at a studio in
so,
New York.
all right, let me paint this picture. You guys are in Miami,
New York.
New York. You're in New York, in a studio, working for like Nina Sky.
Yeah, it was Nina Sky.
Nina, see, I got a pretty good memory.
You do, bro.
And you guys are up all night working on beats. Fucking intern, runner,
Yep.
comes in, steps on the plug.
To the NPC.
This is Skillz was like, this is 5 a.m. We've been working on music all night. He did 5 beats that night. You guys, five beats that night, at least, ideas, right? This fucking guy steps on the plug, erases everything.
Yeah.
You guys call it a night.
I'm fucking pissed, bro.
You're pissed.
And we called it a night. And the next morning, I just remember bum 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 bum.
That's the first thing that you guys remember. That was the only.
Skillz like, no, I know how to play that. Don't worry about it. I said, we'll go back in. And he literally recreated the beat as soon as we walked back in. Wow. Bro, I mean, how crazy is that?
So
what ended up happening with that?
I wanted to talk about that. I forgot, but I wanted to talk about that before that, to Pitt, to Nothing,
Yep.
to Nori, to Wayne. Like, think about the song that just got deleted. This is crazy, bro.
But that's again for all the producers and DJs out there.
That's
You
insane.
just never know, bro. Sometimes I think we had the hit record. I'm in the studio. I'm like, damn, this is big. Chorus is big. Everything. You do all the right things. You get the best mixer, the best mastering engineer, the best huge artist featuring, and you line it all up perfectly, and it doesn't connect. And then there's songs like this that like get lost, fall into this hand, that hand. So
that's the one that's just like, it was just
bro,
destined to be
it's God's
successful.
plan. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. There's only the man above. That's it. There's no other. I mean, I have no. I don't even know why or how this was supposed to happen at a time that we needed a hit, because mind you, the Ridin' had came out, was so massive. Ridin' there was so big we tried to redo Ridin' Dirty like 5 or 6 times, you know, and didn't have a hit. And, you know, the producer world, you're only as hot as what, you know, what's out. And,
of course.
You know, phone calls started kind of, you know, so we needed something, you know. And
there it is.
This Lost Beat fucking became that.
Crazy.
Okay, so back to Kia, what is it?
Kia Shine, yeah.
Damn. So Kia Shine, you guys were, I'm just trying to test my memory too. You guys were working on beats the whole night and nothing was sticking.
He said no to everything.
Said no to everything.
Everything.
And then I think he stepped out for a little, and then you guys started just the most simple, because that's just a simple
beat,
like just drums.
Yeah, and it actually has a Beastie Boys sample. Zoom,
yeah.
Zoom, zoom, zoom,
Oh yeah. Paul Revere.
Yeah.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Zoom, 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 zoom. And then he hears that and comes in, and it's like, yo, what was that?
Skillz is just literally fucking
jumps
around.
on the table.
Said, that's it.
Yeah, I remember this.
I said, bro, we've been here for 15 hours playing perfect chords, guitars, fucking bass, like getting all musical. Do, 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 do. Zoom, 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 zoom.
That shit
Crispy.
is so hard,
I'm
though.
so crispy. Then I said, oh, okay, cool.
And he just started freestyling that, yeah?
Freestyling, went in the booth, you know, and, you know, that was unexpected for us. You know, that actually ended up being a really big song for us. You know, it was a big remix that had LL Cool J on it. And like for me, it was just hip hop.
He was Universal too, yeah?
Yeah, Kia Shine was Universal.
I remember, damn.
So, you know, that was the era of that.
Nick's inspired right now. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Did you know that story, right?
No, that's the first time I heard
Bro,
it.
that's ain't, bro.
Yeah. So that's actually one of
You remember that song?
our favorite beats.
Yeah.
Our favorite beats, man, because it's just like, it's so simple. It's like,
That's when you know, like, I was watching Richard Vision with MK, and he was talking about the song with Dom Dollar, Rhyme Dust.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how they made it. And he was like, how did you know that was going to be big? He goes, how simple it is. He goes, there's nothing on it and it still bangs.
Yep.
That's when you know, like, it's just, it's literally this, it's like the house version of So Crispy. It's just drums and little elements, and it just knocks. Like, it doesn't have no musical, no chords, nothing special.
I mean, sometimes even the wrong chords, just if they feel good, you know, your soul is going to tell you what it is. You know, this is not a music theory competition. You know what I'm saying? This is about what makes you feel good or bad or crazy. It's emotion. Like, music is that, right? Like, there's no perfect way to do it. Or else if there was a science and a formula, then, you know, scientists would be the fucking producers. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they just figure out the formula. But this is just feeling. And Crispy.
Some people think there is a science to this shit, right? Like, they think, oh, this chord progression is like known to make hits, and this key is known to make hits.
But bro, then if that's the case, then DJing would be the same thing, right? Because we all have access to the same music, right? We all can go and download from whatever you get your music from, and we all kind of have the same edits, and whatever's hot is hot. But it's how you play it, right? How you set up the song, when you get in and out of it. This is the art of that. That's the feeling. So if you're a good DJ, you're gonna read the dance floor and go, all right, I need to get the fuck out of the song, or this shit's working, or this will go with this.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so there's no scientific like equation to a perfect DJ set.
Right.
Like, some of the best DJs are drunk maniacs that know how to talk great on mics and fucking play, because they're like in the fucking thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if that guy's wasted and the DJ's wasted, they're connecting, bro, in a crazy way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, for sure.
so there's no science to it at all. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, people think that.
Yeah.
And maybe AI will figure out, I mean, they're pretty damn good. The AI stuff is getting there.
AI is getting there.
But you still gotta, there's still feeling, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so now are we at the point of Flow Rider yet?
Next.
That's after Got
Money. So that's Got Money was like 09, and you know, we had a couple other things regionally, because at that time as well, you could have a hit in the South that the West Coast didn't know about.
Yeah, what was after? Like, what was like the next one that
Ridin' Soul was a song that we had with Bun B and Some Thug that was like a big, you know, Southern, like, still is a classic, but only
in the South?
Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, that whole little thing. What didn't even reach Florida. Like,
Okay.
but it felt big to us, right? And that's when I discovered Serato, right? So I ended up going and seeing a friend of mine, DJ Parker Lawson, who DJ like this underground bougie, you know, club that played hip hop, and he was like, "You got to come see this, man." And he plays Tom Petty, "Free," I think, to Pimp C's version of "Free," but I don't see no vinyl, or I don't even see him like with a CD. I see a computer. For me, this is the first time. This is like 08, 09. I go, what the fuck is he doing, bro? How you? And I'm a DJ at heart, so I'm like, how are you DJing? He's like, this is on my laptop. This is Serato, and I'm able to have a whole, you know, all this different music and mashups are happening, you know. And I said the next day I called him and said, hey man, take me to go buy this shit because I want to get back into DJing. So I bought the whole setup. Now we're going back into this next phase, which is the DJ producer stuff. And EDM music is starting to.
This is that
whole.
If you're saying 08, 09, this
09,
is like get us breaking through out here.
Yes.
LMFAO,
Pitts up tempo stuff.
Pitts up tempo stuff.
You know
with
what I'm
Lil
saying?
Jon
All that.
is crazy.
And I'm excited because again, I liked hard house music and dance music, jungle, drum and bass. Like I love to DJ that style of music in my own time. It's not what I might do for a living, but on my own, I'm gonna be playing stuff that I could never play anywhere, right? So now this style of like hip hop with dance music is like colliding. And like, this is a good time for us to transition into some of our roots in that. And we get a phone call from Mike Karen, who's, you know, this big executive guy who's like,
Atlantic Records.
yeah, I want you to come write some records. I had never written any records that I didn't produce, right? So
How did he reach out to you as writers? Like what did he obviously knew you guys wrote the hooks to the hits.
Right. Well, and there was something special in those hooks, right? Because they were like they were really catchy, but they were still urban, and the slang was like.
So he didn't even ask for beats with hooks. He just asked for hooks.
He said, "I got the beats." He said, "I want to fly you to L.A. to come write hooks for at the time Flo Rida, David Guetta, and whoever else was on Atlantic." And I was like, "You want me to go? You want to fly me to write?" I was like, "Well, how much am I getting paid?" He was like, "No, you know, you're gonna get your publishing." I was like, "Fuck that!" I was like, "I'm not fucking coming out here. You gotta pay me up front to go write." So he ended up paying me to.
Where
come
did
write.
you get this like fucking like business, kind of like street mentality
That's where.
from? Just from the streets.
I grew up with hustlers and gangsters, man. You know, and I was never a fucking dope dealer, or, you know, but I was around.
You were around it.
Yeah, so I had the mentality. I always had, me and my brother come from Section 8 projects.
Because a lot of people think like the opportunity is like, but you were always like, opportunity, yeah, but give me, what's the money like?
You know, yeah. I mean, it wasn't always. I did a lot of shit for free too. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
just in position. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Okay.
I mean, at this point, I got 2 Grammys. I got 2 number one
So,
records.
so
like,
you did do the free shit.
Of course,
Okay.
of course. It wasn't always that, but there was always like, what am I? Look, sweat equity is real, right? Like, it doesn't really have to be like, pay me now. Like, let me sweat and let me have equity on the back end for me to fucking have some skin in the game for certain things, right? Which was the Lil Flip album. I didn't get paid a fucking lick on that, bro. You know, he had an $800,000, you know, budget to make this album. I recorded him for a whole year. Recorded, engineered, produced, wrote, whole thing. Bro.
And you gave him free studio time.
And free. So that some of that budget, he should have been like, you know what? Here's $100,000 for fucking making that, because we made the entire album. He turns the album in. He gets $800,000, gives me $0. Okay, it's fine. Make sure my producer name's on it. I didn't even understand publishing all the way, so you know, but that.
So it took some learning
Absolutely.
to get to the Mike Karen conversation.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah. So he ends up saying, okay, flies us out to LA. And when you're a writer, when you're going to write like into these type of sessions, it's a little different from like you controlling the narrative as a producer. Because, you know, I got there and they were like, these are the beats you're writing to. It was like, it's 5 beats. And I was like, I only like 1 as a producer. So as a writer, it's almost like a job. You come in, 11 to 6, go write, and hope you come up with a hit song. And that's terrible for a creative, because like it feels like a job. You know. Anyhow, we were able to write what ended up being Where Them Girls At with Flo Rida, Nicki Minaj. And we just wrote the song, wrote the chorus for Flo Rida, wrote the verse for Flo Rida. David Guetta happened to be in town and walks into the session. Mike brings him up and he goes, I want that for me, featuring Flo Rida. So that's how that whole thing happened. A couple weeks later, Nicki Minaj is starting to, this is 2010. Nicki Minaj is starting to happen as a
Young Money is all like
rapper, but she's just, there's no super bass, there's no dance
she
records.
was a rapper. Like what, like I don't
Foxy,
know, Sexy Red, yeah, like
just rapping, like no melody, no singing, like, you know, she wasn't known for that. She had sang on some records, but not like, and she definitely hadn't done any dance records. So a couple years later, Guetta asked me to come back to finish the record, and he says to me, what do you think about Nicki Minaj on the record? And I was like, I don't know, man. And he's like, yeah, man, you know, we just need to change the lyrics for the female version of it. She's going to come in today and record. So, all right, cool. He leaves, and Guetta was a strange, David Guetta, David Guetta is like, his studio session changed my life because he was by himself. Mind you, I worked with Lil Wayne, rappers,
all
50
the homies.
motherfuckers, the homies, weed,
a lot
bitches,
of double cups,
passed out. So my studio sessions were, and Guetta was like by himself. This room was like, oh shit, you know, like. So he leaves and he goes, can you cut, you know, Nicki and, you know, and then send me everything. I was like, all right, cool. So a couple hours later, there's a knock on the door. I didn't recognize it was Nicki. So I kind of opened the door. I was like, no, we're in the middle of doing something. Because I thought Nicki was going to show up with like fucking, you know, and it was just her by herself.
Wow.
She like had like a hoodie on. I didn't recognize her. So I shut the door, bro. To Nicki Minaj.
That's funny.
True story. And Guetta calls and goes, hey, Nicki's outside, man. You know, I was like, oh, fuck. So I let her in and, you know, we played the reference.
Did she get mad?
Nah, she didn't really say anything. You know, she just, you know,
young Nicki.
Yeah, young Nicki, one of the superstar.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's like, okay, I'll record this. And later on, she ends up recording the song. And that was her first real dance collaboration, was Where Them Girls At, which ended up being, you know, #1 in 32 countries and this massive song. And Guetta was like, and that brought me to the electronic world, right? Because now I just wrote a #1 EDM record, you know, and that transitioned us to coming here to LA more, you know, leaving Texas. And Ian Fletcher, who has been in and out of our career since the very beginning.
This is his third shout out on the podcast. He's gonna text us about it.
Is it?
He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it.
Okay, well, I mean,
I heard I got another
in the group chat.
Yeah, we love Ian.
You know, facts are facts, man. Ian was a very instrumental in that, and he came to Dallas and he was telling me about LMFAO. And bro, for me, the first time I saw Fu and Sky and Zebra Pants and like the thing, I was like, I don't get this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Like, I actually saw them at Banana Split. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
So I saw.
That's where I met them. That's where I met him for the first time.
I saw will.i.am, Steve Aoki.
Red Foo first, because Sky wasn't old enough yet.
Right. Okay, so it was Foo.
It was Foo. Going every Sunday.
But I would just see them and like they get on the mic every once in a while. Even will.i.am like would get on the mic and you know. But it was cool. It was like this new dance hip hop thing where they were rapping over like dance records.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian ended up working with LMFAO, and he comes to Dallas for an LMFAO concert. And he plays me Party Rock Anthem. 2011.
Yeah. Second album already.
It's the second album. So I'm in Miami. Bitch was first, right? That whole thing, and then he's getting ready to.
And Shots.
Shots was on the first album.
Yeah.
I thought it was on the second album.
No, first.
Can't forget about Shots, man.
It was a little too. Yeah. If it would have been on the second album, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys.
Okay, you're right. Okay, no. So Shots was like.
I'd be out of here.
But Shots felt to me. Shots felt completely different than everything else, right? I like there was this. They were about to like go. And he plays me Party Rock Anthem, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I swear to God. You know, I was like, Party Rock is in the house. And I was like, damn, they could have said something. I don't get Party Rock. Yeah. But I didn't understand what was happening here in LA with their parties and that whole movement, the whole, I didn't get it. Vegas, I'm not from Vegas. Like, I didn't know shit.
So I became really close to Red Foo to both of them, but like Redfoo, I was like with him every day, bro, every day. And when I think about like how much of like he's a genius, like not even like I can't even understand. People know will.i.am's a genius,
Right.
He's a Martian. He's in like he's fucking next level genius. He looks up to Redfoo. That
right.
shows you how much of a fucking genius Redfoo is.
Beyond.
He signed Redfoo because like I thought I was a genius. You're a fucking genius.
Yes.
So a couple things I want to talk about. Foo is Berry Gordy's son.
Yes.
So he grew up. He was like, yeah, I didn't know shit. I'm a kid, and like fucking Rick James comes to the house, and I'm thinking I have a crazy uncle, and like this and this, and James Brown. Like he's just like all these people. Like I just think I have crazy uncles.
Yeah.
And think about at these guys' like show outfits. It's crazy. This is crazy outfits.
Superstar, like.
So his whole marketing genius was like he came up with this whole the zebra pants, the frames, everything was just strategically
smart.
So smart. And then I was watching a documentary. Was it Shep Gordon? I think it was Shep Gordon with Alice Cooper. So Shep Gordon managed Supermensch. He managed Alice Cooper. Have you seen that documentary? You have to watch, bro. Like I won't even. You have to watch it. I'll text it to you. He managed tons of people. Teddy Pendergrass, fucking
the best.
R&B to rock to you name it. Anyway, there was a part in the documentary where this producer goes to a show to see Alice Cooper, and he goes, the lights are off, and then the lights come on, and I'm staring at people with makeup and fucking eyeliner, and just everyone's dressed weirder than the other person, and everyone looks like Alice Cooper. He goes, this is like a cultural movement. This isn't just like a rock band. This is a move. So I get to that because the early days of, I remember their first show at the Roxy. Everyone is dressed like them. Yeah. Everyone had on glasses with no frames. It was a move. It wasn't like that doesn't happen.
No.
That does not happen, bro. It's so,
it was so strategic.
There's very special like cases that.
He's one of them. And I don't think that Redfoo gets enough credit on his genius and his impact, even on electronic music, period. Because he really, I mean, Party Rock Anthem is one of the greatest songs of all time. By the way, my point was that I was so wrong. And I told Ian, I was like, I don't know, bro. He's like, nah, it's going to be number one. Sure enough,
I remember when he was working on it, he said, I only want to make stadium music. Yep. And like, think how big that song is. It's big chords and big chorus and big drop. Like,
I mean, the mix on it too, by the way, like the geeky audio side of it is like, sounds so good. And Foo was like, involved in this, so with Ian being involved, I had a long history with Ian, from my beginnings in hip hop.
Cause he was at Interscope I met him. He was at Interscope for years.
Yeah. And I asked Ian to help me out, to come back in the picture and manage us and help us out. And Redfoo and LMF kind of had separated with Sky, the LMFAO thing, and Foo went on tour in Mexico and needed a supporting DJ act. And this is what Ian threw us in. It was like, hey, these guys are bilingual. They can play your style of music. So he put us on tour with them, which is what brought us to working with Redfoo. Became really cool. He wanted to work. He sends us out to Australia to go work on Redfoo's solo album, which is where we ended up doing New Thing with him. But more importantly, what I got from that was like the world, because I got to travel with him to Australia, to Dubai, to different parts, and see how big, these different styles of music were. And I was like, bro, we need to expand into other genres. Like, and again, hip hop is still not paying for beats. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fucked up. We're going into this dumbass mumble era. of shit. Like it's just I'm no longer in love with this era of hip hop, and I can't get into it. The electronic thing is wide open because you can do whatever the fuck you want, bro. There's no fucking like you could mix genres. It could be a beat and become a hit without words. You know what I'm saying? So I'm loving this, and I want to dive more into it. And that took us to Red Foo and LMFAO, and we started working on that and writing for Afrojack and David Guetta and all the EDM stuff that was happening, and that brought me to LA. We moved to LA, and we did probably one of the worst songs of my career, which is Literally I Can't, right? So it's like this parody song that we did, and I'm reaching because I need a hit. This is now we're in 2014. Bro, 5 years have passed since we had a real major hit on the producer side, artist, and we did the song called Literally I Can't, which got banned everywhere. It's like named one of the worst songs of the 2010s. Like,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I say that, with...
Wait, why did it get banned?
Because there was an article that was saying that we were enticing the girls to drink. It's like a shot of vodka, and the girl's like, I can't. There was this Vine that said, Literally I Can't. Literally, I can't. It was this popular Vine that was happening at the time, and we tried to make a song out of it. It was
Vine, and then like the Me Too movement, all that.
That's what happened. So that hit, and they made Red Foo an example of like, this is da da da, and bro, like it went to shit on that song. It just went, yeah.
What's that Christmas song that was trying to get canceled? It's a Christmas song.
Oh yeah.
It's
I really
fucking
can't stay.
Yeah.
But Baby It's Cold Outside.
Baby It's Cold. Yeah, Baby It's Cold.
I mean, it's I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, no, you guys got the wrong message. But Lil Jon was on the song as well, and Lil Jon's take was like, I don't give a fuck. John's like, this is what we did. Like, we're not apologizing. Like, that's not what the intentions. And if you really pay attention to it, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, why'd you come to the party if you don't want to party? Type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyhow, that was the end of that, thing. And Fu kind of was like, I think he was like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
At that point.
Became vegan and sober.
And tennis.
Yeah.
Tennis. Yeah. He's...
And by the way, this dude is a fucking
genius,
fucking badass tennis player. Like, so we challenged one time Party Rock, the crew, to a basketball game. And if you know me and my brother, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gamble playing basketball. And I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna kill him. Q can't fuck with me. Ferrer can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I mean, those are my boys. I'm saying, like, the basketball. I'm like, and I'm looking at Fu. I'm like, I hadn't seen him play tennis, but I was like. The fro was like,
yeah.
I was like,
he looks a little like he doesn't look athletic.
I mean, he didn't look like he could play basketball, bro.
Is he good?
They kicked our goddamn ass.
Fu's good.
Fu can ball like
no way.
I swear to God, man, he can fucking ball.
Fu looks like he shoots his 3-pointer like this.
No, perfect form, athletic.
Yeah. Really?
Finger roll, crossover. No, he can hoop.
No
and
way.
I said, damn, this motherfucker. So, what I'm getting from it's like Fu is such a genius. Like what you see is not it. This is strategic, bro. Yeah. This guy sold a shitload of merch, was able to put on one of the greatest shows to me, live DJ shows in Vegas history, which is Party Rock Mondays.
Yeah.
Like that was the first of like big shows.
Yeah.
Like let's give our flowers to what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a genius.
It was only themed show, like,
bro. Even
night for like years.
Yeah. First, but if you think about what YouTube is today, we didn't even know what the term vlogging was.
No.
Yeah.
He was the first vlogger ever with the dailies.
Yes, bro.
He would record himself with the flip cam every day and do the dailies, and they're hilarious. Like,
he's such a genius. But then you'd sit down
and of ahead of his time in a lot of things.
Oh, totally, bro. I mean, I remember playing chess with him, and I would say I'm a pretty damn good chess player. And we would just go out and like, damn, this motherfucker. Anything we played while we were on the road, or this guy had an edge.
Yeah, he's
just an amazing talent. But I learned a lot about the business with him as well, the independent side of the strategy. And when we shot the video, the blessing that came out of this was, okay, we got killed by the media more on that side of the world, Australia and Asia, because it never made it here, right? But we shot such an amazing. Fu shot amazing videos. Like his videos were like, bro, Party Rock Anthem is like. Even sexy before, and I know with the fucking
even before
shots,
that,
Miami bitch, like all this stuff.
Yes, when the fucking
all these videos are like they're just genius.
They're all movies.
They're all movies. You know what I'm saying? So this video was a movie, and back then there was this email blast thing that I had, and I sent it out to everybody. And Daddy Yankee emailed me. This is what takes us into the Latin world, and he said, "Wow, this is amazing."
Did you know Yankee at the time?
No, I had. You know, he was on my list.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever, something.com, yankee.com, whatever it was on this list. He emails me back. He's like, I want to make Pitbull records.
Wow.
Right? I want to make English records, EDM style. This is 2013, 14. Yeah. So Yankee didn't have Despacito on that second win after Gasolina. He was kind of like in the middle of that. And we end up meeting in Miami, and we go in to make some Pitbull records, right? Big chorus.
Did you work with Pitt prior to?
Yeah.
I think we skipped that.
Yeah. So in between that time, I worked on all of Pitt's albums as well. The dance era. Yeah. Right. What I was saying, where we were writing and producing like all the dance stuff, and Pitt was making pretty much dance records.
Yeah.
You know, with the hip hop style. But you know, we went in to make these records, and we failed with Yankee at it. It just wasn't very good with the English trying to do it. But we made one Latin record. And he was like, okay.
It also was a little bit ahead of the Latin boom. Like the boom.
Well, of course. But I brought like this electro reggaeton style to this beat. And he was
What
like,
was the record?
Not a Crime, No es Ilegal.
Yeah.
Which is an old reggae remake.
Yeah.
And we kind of introduced that record with Yankee. And we were trying to figure out, this is before Osuna. This is before...
Right.
Balvin, before Bunny, of course. This is like right on that. And I went and did a couple shows in South America, and I saw how big the new reggaeton was happening. I go, bro, we gotta shift. Producers, like, in order for you to live a long time, man, you gotta change, and you gotta pivot, and you gotta, you know, or else, because
pivot, Nick's favorite word.
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? So we were like, we're Latinos, like, we're gonna do our own version of this reggaeton thing. We talk the language, like, we could fit in our own way. And we got the GOAT co-signing us. So No es Ilegal came out, and we ended up doing a deal at Sony Latin to put out Latin records. So this is what took us into our Latin phase and that whole thing. And shortly after that, from LA, we moved to Miami and started that whole thing, which took us to, now we're in 2019, Con Calma, which was a game changer for us and for him and everybody else. Because now the Latin boom has happened worldwide. Now, you know. And
tell us a story about Con Calma again.
So I was working with this songwriter from Houston. His name's Maximo Mundial. And we were trying to find Yankee records. And he said, he starts freestyling the melody of Informer. It's like,
Snow.
Right, Con Calma. I said, oh shit, that sounds like a fucking Daddy Yankee record. So we got to do it. So, boom, drum machine, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, skills, bah, bah. And we record the melody idea on it about 5 a.m, and it sounds just so big. I FaceTime Yankee at 7 a.m. I'm like, I got the motherfucking record. We got it. I play it for him. He goes, don't give that to anybody.
Wow.
I'm flying to LA next week. This is 2017. The record doesn't come out till 2019.
Wow.
So he comes here, records it here in LA at my studio that you went to,
Yeah, North Hollywood.
Yeah. And we knew it was a hit. We needed the Latin boom to do what it was going to do because it was so ahead. You know, this is 2017. It's still like not there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not there. Not accepted everywhere. It's starting to, you know, but not there. So Despacito happens. Right? So now Yankee goes from being this legendary, iconic artist with these classics. He hadn't had anything that was like, and Despacito does what it does.
Yeah.
So now our record gets pushed back. Then comes Shaky Shaky, Dura. And I'm like calling him like, bro, where are we in the fucking line of this shit, bro? This shit needs to come now. And I need a hit because now it's 2019. We ain't had none since 2015. Again, for producers, DJs. 4 years passed by, bro. I mean, you know, you start questioning, do I continue to do this? Why am I doing it? You know, and I had moved to LA where
I was around you guys during this period of time.
Bro.
Yeah, I was around.
You know, and the DJ circuit in LA fucking sucks because, you know, it's like so many DJs and like one club that closed.
You guys were doing a couple Vegas gigs, Mike Snediger.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And Sneddy looked out and he was cool, but then, you know, you had the other douchebag fucking promoter fuckheads. That,
I know you're
you know what I'm saying? That, you know, I wish I could see him now so I could just tell him what I wanted to tell him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, you know, because that's the part of like,
The
you know,
bullshit.
the bullshit that people don't get to see, man.
Yeah.
Like how we get slapped and we can't slap back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, bro, but you hired me. Let me DJ. Why are you hovering in the fucking DJ booth while I'm playing? Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's me and my brother who are a different style of a DJ. We're like a DJ producer group. So we're not just a DJ playing music. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's a show.
It's supposed to
It's a
be.
performance.
But you don't want to give me my
The
screen.
freedom.
You don't
Yeah.
want to fucking with the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
motherfucker. You just want me to play, and then I'm supposed to just. And mind you, talking on the mic in certain places was like, don't talk on the mic.
Right. At that time too.
You know what I'm saying?
Now it's
Of course.
Now it's like
You're required.
Wait, you
Yeah.
don't talk on the mic?
Yeah.
You better talk on the mic.
Yeah, right,
You
right,
understand what I'm
right.
saying? It makes you. But I'm a hip hop DJ, playing open format. So I'm.
You were on the mic.
Where the fuck the birthday people at?
Not just that, you guys were artists.
Yeah, and so I'm doing my songs as well. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm rapping the hooks and singing the hooks as I'm going through it. The point is, man, it was just a fucking weird time for me, man. So I needed this. And then in the Latin world, it was like the wild, wild west. Because what is it going to be? Who's who? Who's the go-to guy? It's like this new reggaeton had just like...
Wait, before the... I don't know if I'm tripping or if I could even talk about this, but Facebook...
What?
Something about Facebook
Remind me.
with Snow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me about that.
Yeah. So Snow ends up being on the version of Con Calma, but originally he wasn't, and he messages me on my Facebook, and I never fucking look at my messages on Facebook. I'm like,
Out of nowhere.
Conan O'Brien or some O'Brien. That's his name. It's like some name. And like it looked like. I was like, is that? And he's like, this is Snow. You know, I rapped on this song. You're using my song. You know, I want to be a part of it. And I was like, what? You know, so.
Did you think it was like like a scam? Or you like this?
No, because I went to his page and looked like, you know, it looked pretty legit. And we exchanged and he gave me his phone number, you know, and I just kind of left it alone. But I was like, never what I thought that would have connected. And I was telling Yankee, I said, in hip hop, paying homage and putting the original person of the record is kind of what we do. If you borrow a sample or borrow a song, putting the original, even if it's an old school artist on it, kind of gives it the cosign.
Even if it's the third verse.
Yeah, 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
It don't matter. But it's like paying homage to,
Yeah,
to
of course.
that. And a friend of ours, Juan Vibras, who lives in Miami, was friends with Snow and had played him Con Calma because that's where I recorded it in Miami. And Snow went in there and did his verse.
Wow.
Yeah. The sad thing about that was there's another guy named MC Shan who's a part of the original Informer. And so when we went to go get the record cleared, now we're talking music business, right? So you have to go get it cleared, get permission from the original writers, get the splits and the whole nine. So you got to get all these people to sign off on this. We couldn't find MC Shan. He wasn't doing good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and he's a legendary,
Yeah.
you know.
Queensbridge, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what was going on. We end up giving them publishing on the record, and he signs off on it, and it changed his life, man. Like the guy, I don't want to say, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think he was like almost in the streets type of shit. And the publishing changed his
His
life.
situation. His
Yeah,
life
there was
situation.
videos of him like talking, you know, PlayNSkillz and the
Damn.
Yankee changed because we sampled the record, we did right, we gave them their publishing that was fair, we put
Amazing.
Snow on the record, all
probably changed his life too.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Damn.
For sure. Snow was, and crazy enough is Daddy Yankee's one of his favorite rappers, Flow Style, when he was coming up, was Snow.
Wow.
And that's 92.
Wow.
Snow could flow.
So that's probably when you guys FaceTimed him at 7 a.m. He probably was like, "Oh shit!"
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm just
that's
flipping a record
crazy.
that I liked, because Informer is like, bro, you can play that now, at any, you know what I'm saying?
That was my favorite song at one point in my life.
That's what I'm saying. It's so
hated
good.
that
Just
song.
melodic.
Did you? Yeah, you were a backpacker.
I was a
Oh, it's all the
backpacker.
backpackers hate it.
Yeah, you're a
I could
But I
tell-
didn't know that Shan was on it. Now I want to listen back to it.
Yeah. So Shan produced on the original Informer.
Yeah, that's
right.
crazy.
Mr. Backpacker friend of mine. It's funny because I'm a backpacker in my own way too,
Right.
but I know a hit song, right?
Yeah.
The remix to Con Calma was going to be with the Black Eyed Peas, right? At the time. So Will.i.am is now seeing this Latin movement, you know, and this is how I connected with Will through Polo Molina. So Will lays a verse, does the chorus, Taboo comes, who's super MC, Taboo, and he's like, yo, this is the corniest reggae song ever.
Yeah.
It's so mainstream. Like, this is not hip hop. Like, no. Like, does not want to be a part of it. I'm like, okay. You know, ends up being a #1 song,
Wow.
you know. And
Wait, he said this like post like pop Black Eyed Peas?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is not 01.
This is not Joints and Jams.
No, it's
yeah.
not That's the Joint. It's not B-Boy. This is
Wow.
After Hump and
I got a feeling.
I Got a Feeling.
All that. Yeah.
Which, you know, and all due respect, because I respect him, but, you know, I have a right to have my opinion on it, because you're kind of dissing me by telling me my idea is stupid, by
Yeah.
telling me that I'm flipping this record, like, and the record's hot.
Mm-hmm.
In our world, it's fucking blowing up. We're looking for a remix to cross over, right? So for you to say that to me, I was kind of like, yo, bro, and I'm cool with him.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of could have said that away from there.
Yeah.
I don't
And
feel-
it doesn't even sound like it. He's such a nice dude.
He,
too.
I swear to God, but that's exactly what he told me. And I said, okay, well, if that's the way you feel, cool. You know, when the record went #1, I sure enough shot him a text message. I was like,
Told you.
But you know who else told me that, who's a very good friend of mine and yours, is Lil Jon.
You didn't like it?
No, when the record came out, I remember seeing John at the Hard Rock in Miami. He was DJing, and I just ran into him on the way to the DJ booth, and he stopped me. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "that shit's whack,
Wow.
but it's working." That's what he told me. I swear to God. And I said, "All right, cool." I mean,
Okay, Taco Tuesday.
okay, no, my dog.
It's the weekend, baby. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, me and John are very, very good friends.
Me too. That's
You know
why
what
I
I'm
can
saying?
say
So
that.
I'm like, come on, John. I'm like,
Fucking John.
let me have my hit, bro. I have my moment. I know the record I took. I know, but so did Puff and Jermaine, all the people who jacked these big records that were big records at one point and
People
made their own
probably
version.
said that too soon to talk about Puff. He just got arrested yesterday. But
Yeah.
but when he took the David Bowie record, people probably was like, "What are you doing? This ain't this hip hop."
Of course. And that
Taking
happens.
Let's Dance, like, and
But
look at what it is.
there's a genius behind having the ear to know what great melodies, and then flipping it, bro. We still made, like, I didn't jack the beat. I didn't even jack the chorus. I jacked the melody of the chorus and flipped it into Spanish with a whole different meaning. And the Yankee wrote original verses, which he snapped on, and then the reggaeton electro type of beat we had. It's like a different song, bro. But I'm inspired by the music that, you know, I grew up listening to, bro. I'm sorry that Informer just happened to be one of the songs that I heard everywhere. I mean, how can you get away from the song? I get what
could,
Taboo
yeah.
or anybody would say about it. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of us have done a lot of corny things in our careers when it's time. And it was just time for me to do something that was undeniable. And that was, you know, Con Calma in 2019. So that ended up being, you know, a #1 record. And we ended up getting Katy Perry on the remix, which was weird to a lot of people, but people didn't understand the strategy behind that. It was like, we already had all the Latins all over this record. We needed Soccer Moms.
Yeah.
We needed, you know, Kiss FM. We needed crossover, you know, and Katy blessed us, and it did. It made the record have a whole different life of its own, you know, and that ended up being, you know, billion streams, billion views, and, you know, was what took us into another whole space in the Latin world.
Was that the most streams you guys have gotten?
Yeah, because even though Ridin is probably a bigger record, like just what
it was
means.
just pre-streaming.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that has like 350 million streams or something. Ridin and Dirty does. I think Con Calma's probably a couple billion.
But Ridin' Dirty got ringtones.
We were the first to have
That was like
5
ringtone
million
era.
ringtones.
Huh?
We were the first to have 5 million ringtones. Yeah, I got a
wow.
plaque. It's like first to 5 million ringtones.
Wow.
What were they, like $2.99 back then?
Yeah, no, this was $4.99.
Oh,
I guess.
shit.
For a ringtone?
Yeah,
And you guys,
yeah.
damn.
Wow.
So we ate a long time off of. Yeah, you
see
know
the
what I'm
watch.
saying? Yeah. Hello.
What time is it?
But you know, it's just it's like we said, it's about pivoting, man. And you know,
So now Con Calma's a massive hit. Does your phone just blow up from all of the Latin guys?
Latin, electronic, hip hop.
Really?
Because now the Latin movement is happening, and every rapper wants to be
in
Latin,
that. Yeah.
right? So I'm the glue. I'm one of the glues to connecting because I come from the hip hop background, right? So I can put plays together from the hip hop side with the Latin artists. Mind you, the Latin artists want to be rappers. They want to be like the street rappers here.
Oh, yeah.
And the street rappers want what the Latin rappers have, which is the global, worldwide, you know, thing. So I'm in the middle of putting that together. I'm first English, talk Spanish, so I can communicate on both sides. I understand the cultures. I understand how to put that together, which led us to Azuquita with Steve Aoki, right? That we were the bridge between that. I mean, come on, bro. Steve Aoki, Elvis Crespo, and Daddy Yankee. Like, how did that?
I
Why?
forgot about that, right?
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? But what happened was Aoki did a huge tour in Mexico, and he had a friend of his who we know from where we grew up, and he was like, bro, they love Steve Aoki. He was like, well, you got to do a song for the Latins then. Man, let's put it together. So I go to Daddy Yankee. I'm like, bro, you should collab with Steve Aoki. He goes, oh, I love Aoki, man. The cakes and the parties, man. It looks, you know, blah, blah. So that's kind of how that came together. And that was one of the big glues. That one is another big streamer for us and did massive numbers for us.
Things like that help a lot, right? When you give an artist a hit and now you're able to, he's going to listen to you and trust you, so you can go to another artist like Aoki and be like, hey, I got Yankee this.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just all ties in. It's crazy.
Does. And I got this, one partner ski, he knows. I got this, I'm going to say it's a maña. I guess like in Spanish. What does that would be in English? Like una maña, like
a habit?
A habit of FaceTiming artists in the middle of the night or wherever. And if I FaceTime you, it's probably because I got a hit for you or I got a great opportunity. And I don't give a fuck. I'll FaceTime you 10 times in a row.
You're one of them ones.
I want you to think. I want you to think I'm having a
you're
heart
like, that's
attack.
like Dick, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after the 10th time, you either think I got in a car accident or,
Right.
or some,
Or
you know,
emergency.
it's emergency. Yeah. So here I am, you know, FaceTiming.
The 10th FaceTime, you got to pick up.
Yeah, so I don't give a fuck. I will FaceTime and call. I mean, I'm real cool with El Alfa. It'll be 20 messages to me. Bro, yo, ¿qué pasó? Or English, what's happening? Red, nothing. I'm not offended. So to everybody out there, it's like, well, I don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying, maybe I'm catching you at the wrong time. Yeah. Maybe the universe doesn't want it to be time. I can go on and on.
It's funny you say that because, like, I'm guilty of it. You get so offended, like, if someone doesn't reply. But, like, think about how many times we don't reply.
That's right.
You know? And it's also, like, we had Mustard on not the podcast, but at a HMC event, and he was talking about, was it Quavo or just Amigos?
It was Quavo.
I think it was Migos. What's the song? Pure water.
Yeah.
He's talking about pure water. And when he's like, people think like I'm Mustard, like everyone, he goes, I'll show you my phone. Yeah. How many times I text Quavo and I get zero response. Same shit. Like,
even they not like us. Same situation thing happened with Kendrick.
And he was persistent.
He talked about that. Yeah.
That's the thing. Persistent.
I mean, this is what our relationship is. You know what I'm saying? Like with us and whoever the artist, like we're both like, if Play from PlayNSkillz is texting you, probably not calling to ask you about your kid's soccer game, how it went. I mean, unless we had that relationship, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if all we ever talk about is making music and linking up and doing this, then if I FaceTime you 10 times,
I got a hit.
I got a hit for you,
Yeah.
bro, because I'm not calling to see how many goals your kids score.
Yeah, I'm not trying to catch up.
Nah, bro. And I'm not saying I don't have that relationship with some people. I'm just saying, like, that's not the case. So
wait, so tell me, so you got 10 messages to El Alfa and what happens?
Nothing. I'm like, damn it. And he happens to come to Miami. And I just happen to catch him. I don't know if he answered the phone on accident or what the fuck, but he's like, hey. It's like, where you at? I was like, bro, pull up to the studio. He's like, I'm all right, finally. Like, all right, but I'm coming. I got like 6 cars, blah, blah, blah. I was like, don't worry about it. You know, so we shut the whole studio down. He pulls up, blue Phantom, blue Lambo, the whole movie, the whole 9. After like not answering me 20 times. And he walks into the studio and I'm like, working on Daddy Yankee's last album. We have Bon Bon right here. It's already laid out. I need you to lay this verse for Yankee. He was like, okay, cool, but tell Yankee to reach out. I was like, he's not going to. You got to do this verse now. I was like, Yankee's one of those guys that's not going to go 20 times. I don't give a fuck. Just lay the verse. I'll do the rest. So he ends up laying the verse. Bon Bon ends up happening. And now my relationship with Alpha is...
Did Yankee want him or you guys were...
No, Yankee wanted him.
Okay.
But so that's why I was like 20 times.
I'll get him.
He's not
I'll make it happen.
The GOAT's not going to do it.
Yeah.
The GOAT's going to be like, if you want, I like him. I mean, I would love to have him, but I ain't going to be the one.
Yeah. He should call me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, who gives a fuck? Let's just, whoever. It could be whoever, just let's get him here,
You're putting the ego aside.
Bro, all of it is ego. I've learned that, again, I told you guys earlier in my career, I was filled with ego and all that. And now that I'm older, seasoned, I'm not offended, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my friend of 20 years in the music industry doesn't answer me, that I can have a feeling towards. But if just my associates of all that, bro, because if I'm on text with 20 different artists throughout the week, if one of them comes through, I'm winning, bro. Because that could be the one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll FaceTime you. I'll call you. I just saw Yandel from Wisin Yandel at the casino in Miami. Damn, I'm always running into people at the casino. By the way, I just thought about that. But he's walking, and he's like with 3 security guys. Just walk up, security guy, like, yo! And he kind of didn't recognize, like, the fuck, bro, blah, blah, blah. And I stop him, and I'm like, yo, we got to do this. I start playing music as he's walking in his ear. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I want to win, and if I catch you, I'm gonna make sure that that's
pitch. A special, like, that's a special, I don't know if it's like gift is the word, but like that's like a special thing to have, because like a lot of us will be, oh, it's not the right time, like,
too
but
scared,
dude, like we're the ones that don't get ahead.
Well,
like, seriously,
because my brother's like that. Like, the thing is, my brother is great in the studio, talented.
I was telling Scratchy before you got here, your guys' dynamic.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like, Play wouldn't be successful without Skillz, and Skillz wouldn't be successful without Play. They're like the perfect duo, because Play's gonna make sure shit happens and talk, and then Skillz is gonna shut the fuck up and
cook. I mean, bro, this guy, as I was telling you, like, he bought a new house with his studios in the house behind his house, 5 yards. So now he's like really cooped up. Like, I'm not moving for nobody. Like, and there's special artists that want to go work with Skillz, at his house. I'm like, yo, call Nicky Jam, bro. He's around the block. He wants to pull up. He's like, he got my number, bro. Like, I'm here. Like, tell him. I'm like, no. And they won't call each other. So then I go, yo, here's the address, bro. Like, just pull up and knock on his fucking door. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can't be no pride to being great, bro. You can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're a DJ or bro. You can't.
Look at Nick writing notes in his head.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. And people are afraid of that shit. But a bunch of my relationships are that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then also you have to win when you get that opportunity. If I'm trying to sell you this chair, that chair better be fucking the most amazing chair. Or the next product I try to sell you, you're gonna be like, bro, chair broke on me after a fucking week, bro. Like, I don't trust your product.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to trust the Play-N-Skillz product. It's 20 years plus of hit records over. Every once in a while, we'll squeeze something out of whatever. But, you know, I just plant the seeds, and wait for which one of these things is going to grow all the way to the top, man. I really believe in that. So a lot of producers get discouraged, man, because you don't get a call back. You might not even know that your favorite artist recorded on your beat. He just ain't got around to telling you that that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody might give up.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at now, man. You know, we just learned the game, and now it's picking and choosing, like we were talking about. Like what's
and
next?
Then let's take it to currently.
Yeah.
You're not retired, but you can retire. Yeah. You can retire right now if you wanted to, because you put yourself in a position where you were able to sell the catalog.
Yeah.
Which is insane, bro. Congrats. Because, like,
thank you.
First of all, to get to a point where someone wants to buy your catalog is already hard to do.
Yeah.
To have a catalog is hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, and to let go of your catalog
is hard to do.
You know what I'm saying? So it just happened to come at a time when the whole world was stopped, which was, you know, COVID 2020. And here we are now doing fucking, you know, live streams to stay active and, you know, Zoom studio sessions, which were weird to me because it just, you know, it's just a bad time for entertainers because we can't entertain. Yeah. We're stuck in a house trying to entertain you from our house. You know, and these hedge fund companies and some banks and even some publishers came up with this idea of buying people's catalogs because they knew people were strapped for cash. They knew that the income wasn't coming in. This is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of some people that might need it. Was the first like big news of someone selling a catalog, was it Bieber or was it Dre or was it Scooter Braun buying? I think actually all that came
Timberlake
after that.
Oh,
yeah,
Timberlake.
This came after that. All that. There was some.
Well, obviously, there's the first one I remember is Michael Jackson buying like the Beatles catalog, right?
Yeah, well, that was
ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his
I don't
time.
even know what that meant at that time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why?
Yeah.
But he owned the publishing and everything else, right? Which he made a ton of money off of that.
Right.
Which is what I think, you know, led to some people believing that that's what they needed to start doing because artists and songwriters and producers were vulnerable to, man, how am I going to keep up with this lifestyle? What's next for me? You know, we didn't know what was going to happen. That wasn't necessarily my case of why I did it, but it was a blessing that conversation started. And again, you know, Charles Chavez was like, sent me an article on this, I think is how it started. Like, Hypnosis, I think, is the company. It's buying catalogs. And he was like, you should look into this. You got a catalog that makes X amount of money a year. So the way it works for the people that don't know is, let's just put a figure out there. You make $100,000 a year on your catalog, right? These companies are coming in and saying, I'm going to pay you for 8 years up front. That's $800,000. I'm going to write you a check for $800,000, but that's mine now forever.
100% of it.
100%.
Okay.
Or some deals, most deals, right? So there's 8 times, there's 12 times, there's 15 times, whatever you make. So
you negotiate.
You negotiate. But at that point, you just got to see where you're at in your life. At that time, I was 41 years old. I had done everything pretty much I wanted to do in my career. I wanted to, again, pivot my business life and my future. But I didn't want to do it at 60. I wanted to do it at 40 comfortably, right? So we got the opportunity to negotiate a deal that made sense to us. And we were ready to let it go. And we were like, I mean, there's also the chance that you might not make that money in 8 years, 10 years, that amount.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you got
anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, if COVID happened.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was like, well, fuck, anything can happen. So that's what they were banking on, that a lot of people were going to think like that. So a lot of people sold for less because they just wanted the money.
They were panicking.
Yeah, panicking, and they were looking for an exit out. Mine was more an of an investment. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my money now for this amount,
And that advance to invest in other
to
stuff.
go invest into my real estate portfolio, into my kids' futures, into whatever it may be. So me and my brother took that. And that's exactly what we did, with the help and knowledge of a lot of different people telling us what to do. Pitbull being one of them. He was like, bro, soil, buy soil. At a time when people were buying NFTs and fucking JPEGs.
Literally JPEGs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a blessing, man. That changed everything for me, because now, like I was telling you, it was like we get to say no to the things that sometimes us as DJs and producers and artists, we get backed into.
What was the feeling when the wire came through? Like,
I was
did
at
a sense of like, I could like.
Well, I mean, I think I got that right there when the paperwork was done. Now I was just waiting for the actual zeros
to come in.
I mean, bro, I got so many goddamn screenshots. I just was like, one of these days, I know it ain't gonna look like that in a year. So
yeah, that's
I was amazing. Like, let me, get that. I was actually at my favorite strip club in the world when I got this, Dallas Gentleman's strip club, and I was like, I'm literally going to the ATM to pull out some cash to just, do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
To pay someone's rent.
Yeah, or be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Donate.
I'd like donate. It's a nice donation. And my fucking goddamn fucking business card in there. I'm like, bro, the fuck?
Wait.
I hadn't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when it goes to, I pull out I don't want to see my account balance. I'm just like, usually just hit no, keep going.
Yeah, you hit no.
But this motherfucker just showed me the account balance.
That's how you found out?
Yeah.
That the shit came through?
Shit, that's a strip club.
Strip club.
Shut the fuck up.
And I was like,
that's a great feeling.
Print, motherfucker, print.
Oh.
Put that shit in my pocket. And I came out, I sat down, and I was like, let me go outside. So I got on my Chase app. I was like, real shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
crazy.
And I was like, call my brother, and he was like, yeah, I already saw it. Because,
yeah.
that motherfucker's watching that shit.
Yeah.
by the tick. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so then it was like.
Damn, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, but then at that point, it's my advice to anybody is, when you get to that level of being able to do that, now you really need to think about your future and
that's when like real strategy, the strategic thinking comes in.
That's where real, when they scare us with this retirement thing, especially as DJs, bro. We only have, a lifeline of, like, I think we're all blessed here that we've been doing this for a long time, and still do it at a very high level. Most DJs don't. This many years, there's no 401k for a fucking DJ, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever you save up in between doing this,
in hope you save up.
If you're not scraping by, as a DJ. So we had the opportunity to do this for a long time and make mistakes financially in between that time, but get back on our feet and be good. But now we get to be great, that I told myself, I'm not fucking this up for nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? So then we started thinking about small businesses, real estate, buying property. And I'm talking to people who have these things, like Pitbull, who is a great businessman. Yo, Pitt, I'm knowing you. We came up together. Who else? He's going to talk my language. Babo, don't go buy this. Don't go buy that. Soil. So anyhow, we sold our catalog from like 2003 to 2019. The beautiful thing about a producer, speaking of Mustard, he's done this like 3 times, catalog sales.
Really?
And just imagine what his shit looked like.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, 3 times. So you could sell period of your catalog. You could sell half of your catalog. You could sell however it is that you want to do.
Damn.
Yeah.
And when you sell your catalog, how does that work with like the other people that are part of the song? Do they feel a type of way, or do they not?
Yeah, they do.
Like for example, you sold off your piece of Got Money, right?
Right.
I'm sure. Does Wayne still own his?
He owns his.
He still does.
Portion. Yeah.
So now, I mean, I guess it's the same shit because if someone wants to sample it, for example, or sync it, they call your publisher or management anyway. So now they just got to deal with someone
else. Or the fucking bank. Whoever bought the guy.
Whoever bought it.
Yeah,
Same
whoever
shit.
it is. They still got to do it.
So it doesn't affect the song in any way.
No, it doesn't. And you don't even like get taken off the credits, and you're still credited. You know, I mean,
You just don't get a royalty anymore.
You don't get a royalty, or you don't get no publishing on it, right?
It's just it's like a big advance that you don't owe.
But what I tell people, and a lot of people argue this, I've argued with some of the biggest artists in the world. I'm like, okay, like, do you want, I don't know, let's say big artists. Do you want 150 million now, or do you want 150 million when you're 60? Like, I feel like with $150 million and you're 40 years old, like, you could have a margarita completely different than when you're 60. You know what I'm saying?
You
Sitting on 150 million. Like, you'll be asleep at 3
o'clock. You could have a Margaritaville.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're going to be dead on a beach at 4 p.m. Like, I'm tired at 65. You don't really get to enjoy it. Like, so I wanted to be able to enjoy my hard work in doing that, man.
There's some people that just don't money manage well, and they're afraid they'll blow it, and they'll be like, I'd rather just have it spaced out.
Yeah.
You are, you know, from the game of pit and just from trial and error, like you said, making bad decisions.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah, and I also believe in myself. How about that side? Like, all right, cool. I gave you my catalog for the first 15 years of my career. I believe I have another 15.
Right.
So I'm in the next like stage of I'm building my next catalog, which I'm already, you know, almost 200 songs into that catalog. So 3 or 4 years from now, I'll pop me 2 or 3 other #1 hits. I'm gonna sell this motherfucker again.
You got another 150 mil.
I wish it was that, but whatever it is,
yeah.
Again, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just cashing out now, and then I'm making other investments because if not, look, bro, we all know how BMI and all or ASCAP or whatever checks. Like, we don't even know how much we make. You know how crazy that is, bro? Yeah. Like, we work on a song. We don't get paid for the song for 18 months, and then you don't even know how much it's going to be every time it comes in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is horrible for songwriters. You don't even know. So if
what's
you don't,
the biggest publishing check you ever got at one time? Or if you don't want to say the number, for what song?
No, I'll say the number. It doesn't matter. I think it was like $200-some thousand.
One check.
220, 230 for me.
For what song?
Ridin'.
Wow.
And that was my first check. Now, mind you, yeah.
This is just from the split.
Yeah, so mind you, Skillz got the same amount.
Of course.
Right? And we're used to always getting things together. If our price to DJ is 10 grand, then we split 5 and 5. Mm-hmm. So we weren't splitting 230, getting 115 each. He got 230, Oscar Salinas. I got 230, Juan Salinas. But mind you, I'm 25 at the time. So that 230 is out of there in 6 months. Straight up.
What's the first thing you bought?
96 Impala SS.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bought it for my friend, Cash, my childhood friend who came up with me. Then I bought my mama a house. I bought a big-ass chain, a Jacob watch, motorcycle, and then I gambled a bunch of it and just lived. But I you know why? Because I only tell the story, I'm not bragging in any way, because it was actually like, you know, I learned a really, really hard lesson because I thought that those checks, this is what I'm saying about we don't know how much it's going to be.
You thought
I thought that shit was going to be every quarter. I'm like, oh, I'm rich for life, goddamn it. Blow this shit, 4 months, I'll get it right back. Then 230 turned into 89, 89 turned into 46, 20, as those stages of those songs there. I need another one to get that shit, to get to that point. So I've had a ton of roller coasters, as we told the story, from 2004 all the way to now. Mm-hmm. So when I finally got to this point, I said, oh no. I said, I got 2 beautiful kids. I can't fuck this up. It'd be bad.
Can you explain to us the difference of royalty checks back in Ridin' Dirty versus streaming?
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's
like if Ridin' Dirty came out today and it was as big as it is, the checks still don't look the same, right?
No, because radio was different, right? We just said a digital ringtone was $4.99, mm-hmm. right? So actual CD singles iTunes singles were being bought CDs were being bought, right? So this is $10.99, this is $9.99, this is all this. Now we're getting .000 whatever the fuck it is on every stream. I mean, bro, you got a million streams is $4,000 for the song, but that's not including all the writers and everything else broken down. So let's say you got 10% of that. You made $400 on a million streams.
That's insane.
On a million streams.
Insane.
So $400. What the fuck do I got to do? 100 million streams on a song? There's only so many that do that in a year.
All right. So if you sold 1 million copies, 1 million albums of Ridin' Dirty, and you own 10%, what is that? What's that number? If you would. So if it's $400 for 1 million streams,
but 1 million albums probably was $15.99 at the time plus everything. You probably would make about that album would make about $30 million. So 10%, you make about $3 million.
Wow.
Dollars off of that
versus $400
on a million streams. That's a single. You know, I mean it's that's why it's
but
really
platinum streams is not 1 million streams, right? How much is it?
It depends on the
is
the
that
genre.
Even a thing? Okay.
The genre, right? So in Latin music, 5 million streams is gold.
Okay, 5 million.
10 million streams of a single is platinum.
Okay.
In Latin music. So I think it's 30,000.
Why is it different?
I think the market share, you know, and how many people actually listen to it. So, but you know, there's still real, like every stream is still like we got a billion streams on a song, right? But it adds up to more in the Latin. Like that song's probably, I don't know how many times diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like it would just be one time, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but also show money's way different today than it is back then too.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's kind of where they make up.
Yeah, and social media, like, you know, I mean, shit, you know, motherfuckers is making a living off of TikToks and streaming and, you know, I mean, there's just other avenues to do that. Like me and my brother, like our brand is not, you know, it's not where it needs to be in the modern world because we come from the old school, and at this point we're kind of like we don't even have a TikTok page, a PlayNSkillz TikTok, because I don't even know what the fuck to do on a TikTok.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Me neither.
You know,
I'm not really down with the. I get it,
know,
but
it's so needed because when you're promoting a song, I mean, I watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I watch, you know, people crash out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see. like, I'm not gonna crash out. You know what I'm saying? Like on my music, I just want to put the content up. And we were just talking about this earlier. I just put out a new record with Nati Natasha, and for the 2 weeks, all right, we had content, video, content, behind the scenes, pictures, blah. And now what? It's like, so now if I don't go do a dance to the song, like I'm running out of shit to fucking how to promote my, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
You know, to beat that is like volume. You feel me? Just volume and volume and volume.
Like with music?
Yeah.
Or with content?
Everything.
Both.
Everything.
Yeah. But that's the only way. And it's hard when you're a true creative because, damn, bro, like I want to take my time and be strategic about how and what it is I want to do.
Do you think you and your brother's DJ duo during the LMFAO time would be different today in the Latin world because of how big it is?
Yeah.
Like just to, like think Deoro and like all these like that Latin.
We were really
even the Latin tech house shit, how massive it is, right? Like if.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, so we went on tour to Europe this past year or this past summer, and we did, you know, like a month of that. And what we found was that there is a hole and a space for a Latin electro style DJ, whether you're doing tech house or whatever it is, or just straight Latin house. And there's not enough that are going there. They want more DJ producer groups like us. They just don't know how to do it.
The biggest Latin DJ right now is French.
Hugo. Yeah.
He's not even Latin.
No, I know. I mean, he came to me.
Crazy.
You know, we worked on a song together.
Oh,
super
yeah?
cool. Super, yeah. So, yeah, we're working on on some really, really cool. Yeah, but he has a lot of people don't know this. He has like some Latin family and some Latin influence.
No, I wasn't saying that talking shit. I like him.
No, I do too.
I get it.
But he's a bigger artist because he doesn't look like a Latin. You know,
he kind of gives me a little reggaeton artist vibe. Got the tats and the earrings.
No, he got all that, but he still looks
hair.
like a white guy with red hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, bro. And, you know, he got 20 girls behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's playing, like, these cool, groovy things. And he's killing it.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, Tiny, right? The producer. He's DJing now. He was never really a DJ. But as a producer artist, he knows that he needs to DJ to perform. Because what does a producer do?
Yeah, you're going to stand on stage with a fucking NPC?
You can't. And even DJing is tough because, you know, if you don't have all the other fucking shit that the punk ass promoter won't give you,
cryo, LED.
If you don't, I mean, for real, like,
confetti.
you know, that shit helps. If you don't have all that, you're not really a show.
Yeah.
Like, we're all DJs here. We can all kind of, I mean, we're living in a sync world, etc. Like, yo, bro, it's anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, I mean, we caught it early, and it would be different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy for guys like Dioro and Hugo and, you know, all these other guys, man. It's great, you know, like, for them to be playing. We're collaborating with those guys too. So
amazing.
I think you're in a better seat. You're in a way better seat. You know that. I mean, you've been through that, and that touring shit gets old, bro. So you're.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, as a DJ though,
I think they want to sell their catalog to be in your seat. How about that?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But I love DJing.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I play at this place in Dallas. It's called Double D's. I mean, maybe 150 people. And they play funk, soul, like really cool. And I love to play there because I get to kind of play what I like to do. Like these cool little hipster rooms and like.
That's the beauty about working so hard for so long. And you said that too, is like being able to pick and choose what you want to do.
I mean, the guy.
There's such a beauty to that.
It is, bro. That's the real gift of being successful, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's the ultimate definition of success and like luxury.
Yeah, because you know, there's a lot more people made a lot more money than us, got a lot more hits. But for me, I'm satisfied because I accomplished everything I wanted to, got an exit strategy, and I can still work when I want to work to give me my music, you know, my shit, man. I mean, bro, the guy was like, bro, I can't give you more than $700. I'm gonna offend you. Like, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not coming here to make the money. I was like, I want to play the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I love
just
DJing.
Give me the 700 in bottles and then
whatever. Or just fucking, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even, I'm past that because I went through a stage of like, bro, I mean, especially here in LA, bro, like it was, I couldn't believe how fucked up the DJ scene was out here.
It's bad.
I mean, motherfuckers was undercutting everybody. Where you went and played was horrible. The vibe was... And that made me want to not DJ.
Unfortunately, that's kind of every market today, man.
Yeah.
Like
everywhere.
Every market is dealing with that, bro. The undercutting, the rates are low, the competition is strong. It's not even your skill set anymore.
Fuck no, bro. I mean, they got fucking... All you got to be is a girl with big tits and like hit sync and like... And you know what?
How many people can you bring, right?
Yeah. And truth be told, like, you know, if I'd rather see a hot ass chick if she was just even decent DJing. I think I'd rather see that than me up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying regular person from Nebraska going to Vegas. Like, fuck, I want to see this fucking Spanish guy out there fucking, you know, DJing. I'd rather see this blonde, you know, playing.
No, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up, but it's
there's
the reality.
It's special to be able to see that because it's true.
It's more.
A lot of DJs think they're like, nah, but I'm such a better DJ. It's like, dude,
and you might be.
Yeah, exactly.
And you probably are.
Well, no, 100% you are. Okay. But it doesn't matter.
I mean, bro, some of my favorite DJs are like, bro, I've never heard them get off beat. They scratch so well. Their wordplay with records, their transitions.
Who are some of your favorite DJs?
AM was my favorite.
Of course.
Rest in peace.
That's the GOAT.
Yeah. There's a guy named DJ Love in Dallas. He's still on vinyl. He refused to get a computer.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so he does. You know, the old school stuff is coming, like these R&B things are popping up.
R&B
so that kind of gave another, like,
vinyl parties.
Yeah, exactly. Those, you know, Vice is, you know, my guys. Man, it's like, you guys are fucking dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of great DJs here. It just, you get caught in this fucking trying to make a living, be the fucking bro. I know you guys are tired of seeing the fucking dickhead promoter that you really don't like, and you had to just,
of course.
We got to get to this point.
Yeah.
Where you go, all right, bro. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a beautiful.
There's
feeling.
beauty in that.
For sure, man. But I DJ every day when I go into my studio. I just like to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels good. If you're a real DJ, that's gonna make you feel good. That's my therapy, man. Mm-hmm. Playing my music.
That's kind of what we went through during the pandemic and shit. Yeah. It's like when we got so burnt of being in the clubs, dealing with like you said, the dickhead promoter.
Yeah.
And playing for the people. And then I've said this on the podcast before, like I thought I hated DJing. Like I was like literally like, I hate DJing. I hate DJing. Nick knows. Nick was on the road with me forever. I would hate this guy being on the road with me because he was so happy and I was so miserable. And he'd be like, yeah. I'm like, man, we got to go here, like six states in 4 days. And he's like, yeah, I love it. I'm like, no, don't love it. Hate it like me. But he didn't have to deal with the hangovers. He didn't have to deal with the pressure. Sure. He's chilling in the back on his phone while I'm getting flipped off by this table that doesn't like my music. Yeah, I'm dealing with the real shit, right? Yeah. And he's not. So that's why. But anyway, then we're stuck at home playing what we want for however many people
100 people
in a chat room, and I'm like 8 hours in to a stream, more than ever. And I'm like, oh my God, this was so important for me. Where like I love DJing.
Yes,
I just hate everything else.
Yeah, and that's the very unfortunate, because we all get into it because we love it, right? Well, I don't know about now, but I know when.
But when we all started,
we loved
none of us knew there was money in DJing.
No, bro,
none.
We'd be happy.
I thought it was gonna be a weekend hobby, and like,
bro,
I gotta stay working at KB Toys.
And it was harder because, fuck, bro, you had to bring your crates of vinyl, a fucking backup needle, this, and that. Now, bro, I show up with a fucking drive around my fucking neck, bro. Like,
you got an iced out USB or what?
I should get one.
That's like some Ferrer shit. Did he have one? I think Ferrer had one.
But you just ping, you put your shit in, you got fucking 25,000 fucking songs, and you rock and roll. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back then it was a lot of work and passion, especially like if you were throwing the party. Speakers, cables, man, bro, the DJ was so important. So now it's, it's not, man. I just got back from Vegas and I was like,
coffin, the coffin with the
bro,
Odyssey, the
carrying that motherfucker, put it in the. It's just like it was
this one right there. I mean,
no, I'm talking about the one with the with the fur,
carpet,
gray
one, carpet one. Yeah.
Oh man,
my God, bro, my God. So cool. I appreciate when I do get to go now and play. Like I said, we just got back from Europe. All I took was 2 drives. That's all I took, and played, 14 cities, a festival, nightclub afterwards, and we just pop in. I'm like, damn, bro, like, they appreciated also a DJ playing. Yeah. These people are excited to see a DJ. This shit here now is like so fucked up because anybody can do it.
Everyone's got a flash drive.
Bro, fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the good thing is, though, what you said recently is there's a lot of small parties now. And I don't mean small in a bad way, but like theme parties that do appreciate what the DJ's doing, you know, and those are special because like, it's just the big clubs that it's just like.
Yeah, Nick was telling me about a bunch of underground cool parties. I'm like, that.
Oh shit, Nick's here.
Yeah.
Who cares? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bro.
That's a classic Felly Fell joke, by the way.
All right. So, I mean, that's kind of like our story, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you guys are friends. I'm happy to tell it. And hopefully this inspires whoever.
Yeah, I'm inspired. Shit.
And
I would, when you guys lived out here, I used to go to their studio pretty often and just sit there for hours, and me and him would be drinking like Ciroc and shit. You were on that peach Ciroc, disgusting.
It was.
And drinking it like it's water, and bro, just the stories. And I know we're missing some good ones, but like,
yeah, we'll come back and we'll do
another one. And and these guys know me. I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Right.
My memory's the worst.
Right.
But special shit like that.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
and I want to do. I'm going to do more of this.
Pretty impressed how I remember some of this
bro,
shit. Bro,
you was reminding me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I was so moved by all the stories that these guys would tell me, man. But it's like,
but you also, you know, you also are a producer, and you know how hard that shit is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get to sit here and say, you know, sold my catalog, blah, 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 this and that. Okay, good. You know, I also put a lot of work into this.
There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just, and nowhere am I the best or did the most or anything else. I'm just more like, I'm at a point now where I want to tell my story on these type of platforms where the other people, they don't really understand it. Like, I guarantee you people don't understand what a catalog sale is really like. What is a publishing check like? How do you pivot? Or maybe today, you know, somebody has a connection with an artist and it's like, man, should I hit him up? Should I not hit him up? Maybe they'll be like, yo, Play fucking hit this mother 15 times. Mm-hmm. By the way, DJ Khaled moved to New York in the same building as Jay-Z and sat outside in that fucking drop top Porsche until Jay and Beyonce would come down and be like, coming to the studio? Coming 6 months.
Wow.
No shit.
True
Is
story.
that true?
Yeah. And then he got J and B on a record.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He rented the same place where he lives.
Shining was the record, right?
Was that?
Was it Shining?
And then there was the one with Future. Was it Maybach?
Shining was like later. Like Cali was pretty big. Right?
Whatever. He had been chasing
I Got the Keys? No, that's not it. That was
I Got the
Jay-Z
Keys?
on it?
Future,
Keys.
right? Yeah.
I think
Wasn't
it was
Jay on
Keys.
it?
I think he was.
Yeah.
All of them were.
Whatever that whole thing happened after. He had been trying to get Jay on a record for
That's
forever.
wild.
And he, you know, and he's Rock Nation. He's connected.
Like that is something people listening should pay attention to.
But that's what I'm saying. So
That
yeah, here's my
persistent-
story of like 20, but here's Khaled's a level above.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. So bro, you can't feel like.
Is there a situation where an artist that wouldn't reply to you try to hit you after a certain song blew up?
A ton.
Give me one.
A ton. I'm trying to think as late. Who else? Let me look at my WhatsApp real quick.
You can go through his phone. Let me see who ignored me, left me on red. And I had to leave them on red. How many times have you yelled at Nick Ferrer?
Yeah, y'all know that. Balvin.
I think Nick
J
is
Balvin.
Nick is probably the happiest person that you sold your catalog. He probably deals with a different play.
Well, Nick would fuck up my Southwest Airlines flight. Like, bro, like I think I have a right to like.
He would fuck mine up too.
You know, I love Nick actually.
No,
You know
we
what I'm
all
saying?
love
you know
Nick.
what I'm saying, and Nick is, you know,
But that's why we can joke with him because this is
yeah.
one of like, I mean, I've known him since he was 19. And, like, I got so much love for this guy. Do you have anything to say to Play?
Congratulations.
Thank God.
Hey, no, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations.
But you know what? Nick caught me at a time where you're gonna go through these moments of like, and I was frustrated, miserable, and woke up one morning and said, "Fuck all this, I'm done."
And Nick was in the crossfire.
Yes, he was, very much so. I had nobody else
Nick
that.
stays in the crossfire.
I was talking about this. Speaking of like being a server, like this kind of how I explain like open format DJing is really difficult because like you're literally a server.
Yeah.
You are here to entertain a room full of different tastes. So I recently came up with this analogy. It's like we're like a cheesecake factory menu, right?
A lot.
Cheesecake Factory menu has
10 pages.
sushi rolls,
Buffalo
Chinese
Blast,
food, pasta, tacos,
Jambalaya.
carne asada.
everything.
Quesadillas.
And you're here. This is, what would you like? Right away. Bring you this menu, right? Then you have artists like Clooney, Malpede, Dom Dalla, Fisher, Chris Lake, Steve Aoki. They're sushi chefs, and they're
This is what you get.
omakase.
They're a tasting menu.
They're a tasting menu.
Yeah.
And the tasting menu is like, all right, for you go see Clooney, your tasting menu is Tech House. Give me the best Tech House you have to offer for the evening. Here it is.
Yep.
This is literally
Chef's
omakase.
choice. Yeah.
Chef's choice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And then here we are, like, I got to learn how to make a California roll. I got to learn how to make this fucking vodka pasta
and put it together whenever you say.
Yeah.
When.
And when I'm serving the pasta, the person that wanted the sushi's flipping me off. It's difficult.
They're complaining.
Bro, I feel your pain and
Too much cheese, not enough cheese.
I mean, bro, I hated the rich guy buying
The bottles.
the Max bottles, and okay, one request, understood. Okay, they're bringing out the fucking happy birthday fucking thing, bitches doing the shit, got it. Okay, but when they tell you to change the format,
Right.
and like
That was a real tough era
yeah,
of
bro.
that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I was trying to get out of because I was like, no, if you PlayNSkillz are playing, you know what you're getting. You go see Steve Aoki, he's not gonna play a hip hop set. Never. He might play a song. He might play two.
Yeah.
And he might even stop for this guy who spent $250,000 at Omnia. He might stop and say, all right, fuck it. I'll play it once. But Steve Aoki is going to do Steve Aoki.
Mm-hmm.
And after we left that little small LA DJ thing era of ours, and we said, no, we're going to focus on PlayNSkillz. When you hire PlayNSkillz, we're going to play Latin, electro music. You might get a little hip hop. This is what we're doing. This is our price. Yes or no?
Take
Felt better.
Yeah.
Doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was driving me nuts. Like, bro, if I didn't get another, and Playhouses, we used to do La Cultura. And that was weird to me because it was La Cultura. This is supposed to be Latin music all night. Dembow, reggaeton, maybe a little hip hop. But then fucking Lil Dope Boys come in this motherfucker and it's like, now I'm having to play these West Coast YG records because so-and-so.
BPT.
Cool, I love that shit too. I'm just like, it's not supposed to happen tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, okay, promoter telling me one thing, club owner texting me the other thing. Yo, what the fuck, bro?
That's the problem with the clubs right now. It's like they're not gonna say no to money,
Yeah.
and
The spenders
come in with,
I know, bro.
money, and it's like whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But, you know, we're all blessed that, you know, we have many, many years and we're still active. And that's what I'm really proud of, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Congrats,
healthy
man.
and, you know, thank you guys for having me on, man.
No,
For real,
of
you know what
course.
I'm saying? Like, I want to
You
share
gotta come back, and
we
we
can
gotta
keep
bring.
going
We gotta,
for
yeah,
good.
we gotta bring skills, man. I would love to.
Yeah. We're you know, I'm trying to motivate him to tell the story because, you know, no, we're not Pharrell Williams or Timbaland, this and that, but our story is real, man. Our story is from the
You
bottom.
guys need a documentary.
And, you know, we've done that. And we need to go on all these podcasts. I watched some of the stuff and like, no, let me tell you how it really goes. Because I can. For the longest, it's like you're afraid to talk about how the labels work, how agencies work, how nightclubs work, because you want to still work.
Right.
Now I can go, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to fucking go on my golf cart to the Ritz and fucking smoke my cigar and fucking DJ for two people.
Yeah.
Like, cool. But let me tell you how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you how it really works before you dive into this thing that you're the only producer that feels like he got jerked. No, motherfucker. Like, this has happened to everybody. Everybody. And we're still active.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up.
What's next?
I mean, we're still gonna be
Develop artists and kind of label. Still doing the like? Are you?
No, I'm off the label.
You're
shit.
over.
No, I'm
over that?
fucking done. I can't. I don't want to deal with another me. You know what I'm saying? Another artist. Like you know, I have a publishing. Me and my brother have a publishing company, and we have writers and producers that we're developing and helping us do that. We have a lot of cool.
You
collabs.
got to the beauty about where your whole journey was. You know what makes money and what doesn't.
Right.
And now some of the stuff that doesn't make money is the glamour, and people want that, and you're like, nah,
I'm
that's
cool.
bullshit.
I'm not. I've done it.
You want, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Show me the and I still do things, and I'll still work with artists that might not have a financial gain, but might be great for my soul, or might be great for the culture, or you know, that type of stuff. I'm into all that as well, helping. But the problem is that a lot of these youngsters just think they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can sit here and talk to a producer now about how to make it as a producer, and he's gonna go, no, but I mean, I can just, production is so easy now, bro. Yeah. Like, bruh, like this stem shit, like, bro, do you know how to find a piece of vinyl for a fucking break?
Mm-hmm.
Like hours finding this horn. Now I can just stem the motherfucker and take the horn, take the bass line, take this. Like, technology has advanced to a whole different level. So
even an NPC has stems.
Bro,
That's
amazing.
crazy.
It's amazing. I love it, man. You know,
Yeah.
so I embrace it. And what's next is, we got cool collaborations. I'm working with James Hype on some stuff. I got with Hugo, with Showtech, like merging the Latin electro thing kind of together. So those will be some upcoming DJ releases and
Amazing.
instrumental albums. We're gonna start putting like straight instrumental albums, just beats. Yeah, motherfuckers listen to sleep sounds.
Yeah.
I'm one guy that just listens to a beat play for
Yeah.
to fall asleep. So why couldn't I do a soulful hip hop instrumental
Rain
album?
over beat sounds.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is.
Yeah, or like some Dilla shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like 10 songs, 10 beats of
I
that.
love instrumental albums.
Yeah, because sometimes people might get turned off by the lyrics or the artist is rapping over the track and go, how many times we had somebody go, man, I love the beat. That's it. Why is there not more instrumental albums?
But I think that's also the smart businessman in you. You're leaving it open for someone to jump on it.
Yeah.
And then hello.
Well, I still own it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
put it
saying.
up. I mean, I could still, somebody wants
Hey,
to beat.
man,
Cool. No problem.
I was saying some of the, I forgot, someone was trying to sample a popular artist and they're like, oh, I'll never get it cleared out. You'd be surprised. They're smart. They'll clear it.
Bro.
I said, it's the small fucking artists that don't know shit, that don't want to clear shit, and they're the ones that are
They don't know how it works.
not making money. It's like even like on YouTube, like you play a mix, you could play Michael Jackson, you play all the big shit, it's fine. It's the most random
That'll flag your
Stevie
shit.
B, and it's just like gets flagged. Like, what the fuck? Like how? Like they just don't. I'm not saying him. Whoever owns the,
They just don't understand it.
right.
That's
So, as a musician, you want to leave stuff as open as much as possible, because the one thing you want is someone to sample it.
I mean,
30 years later.
It's equity.
Exactly.
I own it. It's still you can rent it. It's still my house. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I own it. We just did that shit with fucking Sexy Red and Get It Sexy.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so they used Halle Berry, which is a song that we produced 2008, 2009 with Hurricane Chris.
Damn.
Yeah, she used it. And this is probably her biggest record that she's had.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, you know
Huge.
what I'm saying? Yeah, so, and I didn't even know anything about it. I just heard it.
And you're
Well-
like, wait a minute.
But, which kind of sucks. We're credited as writers, because we are, and as producers on it. But since we saw that was part of our catalog sale, right? That's why I never knew about it, because they went to who owns that song in the catalog sale to get it clear.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, no, because, you know what I'm saying? It's still a hit for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, yeah, I might not make no money off of it, but it's still another hit song that,
You could use a momentum
right, you know what I'm saying, off of it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? In a genre that we're not really active in.
right now.
I'm saying, like, what the fuck like Sexy Red that in Play-N-Skillz right now doesn't really make as much sense as 15 years ago. So it was cool that got sampled. Now I just know to own everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, I want a piece of this so I can do that, And that's the game, bro. Straight up, man. It's about, learning how to make money at this, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without emotion.
Yeah, and I think the key is go through it. That's the thing.
And more people talk,
went through
bro.
it. It's trial and error.
More
and-
people
and
need to
learn.
talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Just producers are like scared to, I don't know why. It's like this unwritten rule of like not giving game to other people. Just imagine if people knew how publishing really works. But me as a publisher, I own a publishing company. Really, I don't want the writer to know how you get paid and what you're supposed to get, because I want to control that. But since I come from the school of getting fucked in that, I'm going to give the game to them, right? So it's paid back in that situation. And that's if you're asking me what our next step is, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Is the next era of Play-N-Skillz and ownership and being in control.
Love it. Nick, any questions?
Congratulations.
and thank you.
Thank you.
I want Nick, poor Nick, man. I'm embarrassed sometimes I see him like,
No, I love it, but that's the beauty of it, bro. That's literally he's seen the worst of me, the best and the worst. He's seen it all.
Yeah,
And
but that makes
and same for you.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It was never
Just
personal.
makes him stronger.
But we've seen
Or smarter.
We've seen the best and the worst
That
of him
too.
too.
Yeah, like getting a date of birth wrong. Like, date of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's enough.
okay.
Did you really? So you couldn't get on a plane because you fucked your date of birth? Or
I
what?
forgot what it exactly was, but it was and it might not have been even that at the time for me. It was, you know, and that's the other thing is like, bro, we get frustrated as DJs, producers, musicians, and we start taking it out on everybody else. People that are trying to help you, you think are against you, you know, because you got to blame somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened in all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was mad at everybody. It didn't matter who the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking into a DJ gig like, all right, motherfucker, fuck this shit.
And it's a bad place to be in. Like
terrible, bro.
Just
You're
like
not the best you.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I'm
a bad
saying?
place to be in.
Now I'm just like, all right, cool, whatever's gonna and the pressure, what you were saying in closing, right? Now I don't really give a shit. What if the sound goes off? And everybody's looking at me, I go,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I used to like turn red, get nervous, and like be panicking. Now I'm like, all right, well, whoever's gonna fix it is gonna fix it, and if not, then I guess I'm going home.
Yeah,
I don't know what. Like, I'm not gonna worry about
What's out of your control.
Exactly. But that took many, many years. Actually, it took many fuck ups.
Yeah.
Sound going off, fucking drives didn't work, you know, monitor not working, fucking opening DJ burning the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? That guy in the last
That's a
10 minutes.
whole nother topic.
Ray, you told me you told me a story about
Wait,
this
what?
one time.
Bro, fuck, I was like, he started playing my shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where was this
shit.
again?
No, that's the worst.
This was in the DR. We were playing a festival and like, he starts playing Azuquita, fucking, and then he plays going and in his eyes, he was playing homage.
Yeah.
homage.
Like,
That's like Japan, like Asia is the same thing.
okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and I didn't, but my road manager at the time, Puerto Rican Mike, like he's cuckoo, so he just went over there and ripped the fucking USB off and grabbed his computer and was like, "Get the fuck off," you know what I'm saying, type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But it did fuck up because my intro was one of the songs he played. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to pivot,
yeah.
You know, and you have to get to the gig
And it fucks
early.
up the shit, yeah, especially if it's
bro.
your intro, yeah.
So now I'll arrive 30 minutes before. I'm like, all right, let me see what he played 30 minutes before. So I don't, because you know, and I don't know why. The openers have a habit of fucking just wanting to prove to the
At this day and age, is free for all, man.
fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
So, but again, here's the other side. Get creative and create something that nobody else will have for your intro and everything else, and then you'll be okay.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Play.
Wow.
Play of
And
Play-N-Skillz.
skills.
That was amazing, man.
Thank you guys, man.
Man, love you, bro. Congrats.